Hello, Durud and Shalom. We be live. Hi, Monkey.
Durut Shalom. Hola.
And hola.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. Fantastic. That's good. Hola. Okay, sounds good. Okay, guys, holy crap. President Trump just came out and just completely went against the negotiations and the idea of even talking to the Islamic Republic. I don't know what this is going to mean when it comes to the realities on the ground, but holy hell, let's actually listen to this right away because this is huge news. And President Trump is finally saying something that we were telling everybody from forever ago, right? We were saying that you cannot negotiate with these people. These people, you're not gonna be able to come up with an agreement. These people lie, and then they tell you that yes, we have an agreement, and then just a few hours you realize that they were just full of crap, and they don't mean anything that they say in front of you, and they constantly lie. And these people are scum. And now President Trump, I know he loves doing deals, he loves doing negotiations, and he has met all sorts of people in his life that, they were shady people, but one way or another, he like, I can deal with anybody. I could come up with an agreement with anybody, right? That's what he's the deal maker. That's his experience. But now he's realizing that the Islamic Republic is a completely different is complete, like even the most shadiest, all the people that you thought you could deal with, the Islamic Republic is just something else. And President Trump is admitting that, yeah, I've never seen anything like this before. Like, this is what we were trying to say all this time. But now let's just listen to President Trump explain it himself.
We attacked very powerfully last night the very dangerous people from Iran. They're sick. There's something wrong with them. We said, go and do your funeral stuff. And instead of that, they start shooting rockets at ships yesterday. And so we hit them very hard last night, very hard. I would say 20-1, 20 times tougher. And I told them every time you hit, we hit. And of course, they're dirty players, so they go after everyone, probably including me. I've been number one on their list for years. And they're a bunch of scum. You want to know the truth? They're scum. And so we don't like them. I don't like them. And they're evil people. And it's the denuclearization of Iran. And we're going to denuke it. We're not going to let them because they're crazy. And they can't have a nuclear weapon. And they go around killing people. They've killed thousands and thousands of our soldiers. They've killed hundreds of thousands of innocent people. They had the roadside bomb, Soleimani. I took care of him first term. And that was a big thing because I think it probably would be a lot stronger had he been around because he was a bad guy, but he was an evil genius, but a bad guy. And he was the father of the roadside bomb. The roadside bomb is a bomb that goes on when you're driving your little vehicle around and it goes on and you have no legs, no arms, and no face. And they've killed thousands and thousands of people. Even the SS Cole was theirs. If you remember that disaster. So I don't like them at all. And frankly, I think we waste a lot of time with them. I think we should just do our business. Can you imagine? They start shooting bombs, actually missiles at ships yesterday. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, a couple of others. And I don't think they know what the hell they're doing, but they're bad people, very bad people. I think they're incompetent, by the way, because if they were competent, they would have made a deal a long time ago, like how about 47 years ago? So they've been in trouble for 47 years, and we took out their first set of leaders. We took out their second set of leaders. They want to take out the U.S. leader, me. I'm on every list. I saw things this morning. I'm on every single one of their lists. And so far, I guess I've been a little bit lucky, but that maybe doesn't last very long because that's the way it goes. But we have great people. But these are evil, sick people, and we have to rid their cancer. Their cancer. And you know what you do? You got to cut out cancer early. And that's the way I feel.
We gotta cut out cancer early, and that's the way I feel. Holy crap! That these are the strongest words yet. I don't know if it's going to go translate into like really high level kinetic military operations, anything like we saw in Operation Epic Fury, but it might. To me, it seemed like President Trump is very frustrated with the Islamic Republic. What do you think?
I think there's a definite shift in the rhetoric. He's not talking about a deal. He's not talking about these people want a deal. He's not talking about any of that. There's a definite shift in the way he is framing everything. There is no framing for a deal here. There is no framing for we're going to do. We're talking. There's some good people in there we can talk. There's none of that framing. That framing completely changed. And I did notice something. Whenever you see Trump and Rubio traveling to a lot of places, something's about to happen. When Vance travel, things are calm. When you see Rubio and Trump traveling, what happened in Lebanon? What happened in Iraq? What's going on in all over the area? It's getting heated, and I think one of the reasons they were in Turkey is basically because things were going to start getting heated again. I think we did the preparations. It's time to start it up again, and you have to start and try to start and finish before, I would say, the end of August, right? There's not a lot of time. You want to get this done as soon as possible. You want to, yeah. I think they're going to go hard. This is just my opinion, right? But I see the definite shift in rhetoric. And I also want to point out that he is right about these IEDs. These IEDs have been a big problem, a big cost of US life. And you know what? You can tell. Like, look at any video before this where he's talking about no, they want a deal, they're gonna sign. That has been the pattern of rhetoric before. There's nothing here about signing, nothing here about a deal. It's all about these people are scum. We can't. You're not gonna say scum and then say you want a deal. So there's a definite shift in rhetoric right now that I'm seeing. Like, I could be wrong if there's the pattern
Yeah, the
changes.
tone
I'd love to
shifts,
see
but
more.
I don't know. The tone has shifted, but I don't know if it's actually going to turn into like this is obviously a major tone shift by President Trump. But we'll see how that translates into what they do because I don't know, the Islamic Republic itself might be calculating that President Trump is going to go back to much more significant military operations after the midterms. So maybe what's happening is the Islamic Republic thinking, then why should we wait for us to do this at based on Trump's schedule? Like, if it's convenient for them to do it after the midterms, then and if their understanding it is that they are going to do this after the midterms, then the Islamic Republic is going to think like, well, if it's going to happen, we should make it happen before the midterms, because at least if it happens before the midterms, it's a time that President Trump doesn't want. And hopefully the Islamic Republic will think, hopefully by doing it before the midterms, it will cause a lot of damage to the Republicans during the midterms, bring the Democrats into power. This is what the Islamic Republic would want. And if it brings the Democrats to power, then President Trump wouldn't be able to do much against us after the midterms. So given that would be, let's do some game theory here. Given that would be the calculation of the Islamic Republic, obviously, if that's happening, then the Americans would know that this is going to be the calculations of the Islamic Republic, them wanting to get into this before the Americans. And then the calculations of the Americans would change and think like, well, if they're going to start it, we should start it before them. If they're going to start it before the midterms, then we should start it before they want to start it. So this might also explain the tone change. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Look, I've been saying for weeks we're going to do this before the midterms. We need to do this before the midterms. We need this win before the midterms. We can't go into the midterms with this endless ceasefire. There needs to be kinetic action before the midterms. I've been saying this for weeks. I've been saying what this scenario is going to happen for weeks. And I'm just going to take my little monkey dance and little monkey victory lap because I said that the tone was going to shift and there would be kinetic operations before the midterm. And I'm just saying I was right.
Yes, but we can't. Nothing is certain until it happens. So, guys, these are all based on ifs. Right, so just keep that in mind.
It's iffy, yes.
Yes, everything in the future is iffy. Only things in the past are certain. We did get oil prices went up to 77%. So this is the market's view on this. President Trump, I think there's another video here that I want to play from President Trump, but let me see. We already got 3 super chats. Thank you, guys. The Noah saying, boom, booms. I'm so happy the ceasefire is over. Well, Noah, wait. Don't celebrate too early. Nothing has happened until it actually happens. It's not based on what people say. The Americans that will announce a ceasefire being officially over by not announcing it, but by making things blow up. Okay, the Americans do not announce ceasefires over by like speeches like this. The ceasefire is only over when we see it's over, not within when statement like this could be, mind games. It could be just, the psychological war, narrative war. So do not celebrate too early. Wait until it actually happens, right? And thank you so much, Noah, for the super chat. And then we got another super chat from Noah saying, also, Trump said U.S. may take over Kharagland. Yeah, but they have been saying that for a while. So let's see. Again, what they say they may do is different from, it could be different from what they actually do. So let's wait for that as well. But the tone shift is very obvious. The tone shift is huge. I'm not saying it's unimportant, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen, right? And BT June, thank you so much for the super chat saying, if this goes wrong, we're blaming Vance. You could always blame Vance. so let's go.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Thank you, BT June. Thank you for the super chat. Let me see if this is the same video or if it is a different one, because
terrible military strategy. He just said he's going to that. Yeah,
President
they deserve it.
President Trump, what is the effectiveness of last night's attack? What message does that send to what's left of the Iranian?
Which attack are you talking about?
The attack that you guys had on Iran last night. The strikes last night?
Oh, I think it has a tremendous impact. Well, first of all, we took out additional, they were trying to rebuild it.
I said, he's like, which strikes? Like, how many strikes are happening?
We hit a lot of places very hard. You got to tell me, what places are you talking about? We hit it all.
Can you be more specific? Oh my God, can you be more specific? Or like the last night strike, like more specific, like in Iran. Okay.
Which attack are you talking about?
The attack that you guys had on Iran last night. The strikes last night?
Oh, I think it has a tremendous impact. Well, first of all, we took out additional, they were trying to rebuild their radar, and they had about 60% built. Now they have to start all over again. Look, we're not attacking at the highest level. The highest level of the bridges, which we can knock down. I would say in one day, we knocked down every single bridge in Iran. There's not a thing they can do about it. Their electric manufacturing facilities, right? Their electric plants where they make their electricity there. We will, if we have to, we'll take them out. I don't want to do that, but if we have to, we'll take them out. They have desalinization plants. We'll take them out if we have to. I hate to do that. That's probably the one I would like not to do, least. We attacked Karg Island last night. We knocked out a piece. I said, don't touch the oil, because maybe we'll take over Karg Island. We may take over Karg Island. There's not a thing they can.
Oh, see, this is what Noah was talking about in the super chat. He said we might take over Karg Island. Okay.
Desalinization plants. We'll take them out if we have to. I hate to do that. That's probably the one I would like not to do, least. We attacked Karg Island last night. We knocked out a piece. I said, don't touch the oil, because maybe we'll take over Karg Island. We may take over Karg Island. There's not a thing they can do about it. But I said, don't hit the pipes. Just hit everything else. And they hit it. They may hit it again tonight. So, as for your question, normally I'm not that way. But they really deserve it, because they're saying they want to make a deal, but they don't. They asked for a timeout. They wanted to go to the funeral of Khomeini. And I said, give it to them. And they start shooting missiles. I mean, it was the craziest thing. Now, we did kill him. So I guess you have to look at it that way. But the funeral took place. and they wanted to have a period of time, and they also asked that we not kill them. And we said, we're not going to kill you. They were worried we'd kill them during the funeral. I mean, if you can believe it, what a crazy. Did you ever think I'd be doing this for a living, Marco? Did anybody ever think I'm doing, maybe Pete, but this wasn't supposed to be for me. Pete loved this stuff from day one. But they said to us, please don't kill us during the funeral. I said, I won't. And we didn't do anything. In fact, we made it safe for them, actually. And what happens? They try and knock out two ships, a Saudi and I guess Kuwait, right? Kuwaiti, oh no, Qatari. In addition, really three.
Yes, sir.
So you had three of them. And they're just, I don't know. I just don't know with them. A lot of people say they're very dishonorable people and they can't keep a deal. So we'll see. Now, as to whether or not Steve Witkoff, Jared, and JD and everybody working on that will talk, I guess they can talk, but I'm not seeing it with them. With the people. My whole life is deals. I don't see it. I don't see it with them.
Well,
There may be a big attack, and it'll knock out a lot of stuff. We don't knock out nothing. We knock out a lot. Pete, do you want to tell them about last night?
Yes, sir. Last night, as you said, a lot of small craft that they were trying to harass shipping with. So that was a big part of what we targeted. Underground facilities where they were storing drones or missiles, coastal defense sites, radar sites, surveillance sites, anything used to harass shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. So anything they thought they had rebuilt or capability they were using was a target last night. And tonight, if we need to, on your order, Mr. President, we will hit even more and even deeper, because that's the
And
consequence.
we may put down the blockade. We may put it back, the blockade. And it'll only be a blockade for Iran. Anybody else can have whatever they want. Now, of course, they'll drop some mines if they can, if they can do it. But it's hard because we're taking out those little boats now with the same weapon we used to take out the drug lords and the boats coming in by sea. Think of it, 97%. For years, we had fentanyl and all the other drugs coming in from different countries, including Venezuela. And it was, they'd arrest them, they'd bring them to a court, they'd be released, and they'd be back on another boat the next. 97%. What was done in the past had no impact. 97% drugs down coming in by sea. And now we're going to start doing it by land. The land is easy when we had to do sea first. And nobody, I think the 3% of the people that still do that, I think they're the bravest people in the world. We should probably give them a medal for bravery, because and we're using the same exact missile to take out the mine drop. They call them mine droppers. But we have minesweepers. And one of the things that came up today is that European nations, the NATO group, they're sending minesweepers. We don't need them now. We have pretty much the mines that cleared up, but they'll probably drop some more. They're evil people. They're sick people. They're mentally disturbed people. And it should have been done 47 years ago. Thank you, everybody.
Look at this part of what he said. This is important. He said that they might attack tonight.
And so we hit them very hard last night. Very, very hard. Probably hit them hard again tonight. I'll give them a little warning. We're going to hit them hard tonight. But we'll see how it all works out. No, I'm not happy with them. It's like,
I'm going to give them a bit of warning.
When
We're going to hit them hard.
When we hit him hard tonight. So that's kind of like, Also, he's sitting next to who? Who's he sitting next to there? Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
He's sitting next to every leader. Like there's like so many people there today.
Yes.
But let's focus on what he said here first before we go to that. Because guys, so that today is going to be a busy night tonight, apparently, if this is true. Because the last night when they hit the Islamic Republic, that was not the same as usual. Like that was 5 times more aggressive than the other times that the Islamic Republic violated the ceasefire. And now President Trump saying tonight also they're going to be hitting them very hard. So it's going to be a busy.
Said, I've done deals all my life. I'm not seeing a deal. This is an important shift. This is the second video where he's saying, hey, I'm not seeing a deal here. I've done deals all my life. It's not looking like there's a deal here. Like he was talking about Vance's efforts. Like that section of the video, I think is also important because it is a very important rhetorical shift. It's just rhetoric. We did have some booms. Let's see the booms tonight. All right, we're iffy. We are iffy, but we're seeing we can't help but notice. The noticing is happening as much as we know that it's iffy.
Yeah. And he says, like, these people lie, like I've seen nobody else lie, right? This is what we've been saying from the beginning, that these people, you cannot trust these people. But also keep in mind, guys, this doesn't mean the negotiations are completely off. This could be President Trump trying to also scare the Islamic Republic into cutting it out, you know. It could be, you know, so don't think like it's completely, the negotiations are completely out the window. Right? Do you agree with that, Monkey?
I think you have to temper your expectations. I think
Right.
you can't overhype a certain expectation because you set yourself up for heartache, right? Let's not be emotional about this. Let's go a little bit more evidence-based. When we're going to talk about like what we're hoping and what we're seeing, let's go more with what we're seeing, but understand that the possibilities are opening up.
Yeah, so there was another part. President Trump said the Islamic Republic told him, they said, please don't kill us during the funeral. I said I won't, and we didn't do anything. In fact, we made it safe for them actually. And then what happened? They try and knock out 2 ships in response. So President Trump feels very, you know, angry betrayed because he basically allowed them to have their funerals. They were all of the highest officials of the Islamic Republic were out. Easy pickings, like easy could have taken up all of them and ended the whole thing. And he just allowed them to have their funeral. And then in response, they actually attacked 2 ships, 3 actually.
Look, on this, I mean, Obama used to like bomb weddings. We're a little bit more cognizant that there's going to be a lot of innocent life around, and that's probably in the calculation also. They did have to ask permission, but when permission is given, I think the state is like Americans are cognizant that there's going to be a lot of innocence there, and you know, even if they are supporters of the regime, if they are not active combatants, it's something that you know, we are kind of like reticent. We don't want to do that, right? So I understand the calculation, but as we have said, you can't trust these people. They will. You give them an inch, they will take a mile.
Yeah. We got actually the next video is exactly about this. He's talking about the leadership there, so we'll go to that one. But before that, we got 3 super chats. Push up saying, "Oh no, what about the soybeans?" Yes. No corn, no American corn. I don't know. Yeah, maybe they're not gonna get that.
They're not getting that EBT card shipment.
They're not getting their food stamps. Thank you, Push-ups, for the super chats, and thank you, Shir Hamid. Thank you so much for the gift basket. Gifting 10 people in the chat became a member because of Shir Hamid. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
And then thank you. And then we got Leo with the super chat saying, "New shirt? Who this? Looking for? Oh, really? You like it? Okay.
That is a very nice shirt. I'm not gay, but that, you know, you're a handsome man, looking nice, looking good, representing.
Don't
That's
make
what I
it
call
weird, Monkey. You stop. You
I'm not into it like that. You know, the only bananas I like are banana clips.
Saying that. I don't like you saying it. It's weird. You
Okay, I won't tell him. Chat, you tell him. You tell him, chat.
Oh my God. So anyways, thank you. Okay, guys, thank you. It looks good. Okay, so people are saying it looks good. All right, let's see what President Trump is saying here now. Hold on, let me actually change. Oh yeah, he's calling them liars here. So yeah, okay, this is what we've been saying.
Liars. We make a deal, and if I make a deal with him, we have a deal, and he goes out, he talks. We make a deal. Everyone's agreed. No nuclear weapon. We make a deal. They go outside, talk to the press. They say, we never even talked about it. There's something wrong with them. They're cuckoo. Liars.
Yeah. They're cuckoo. What do you think about that?
I think they are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Cuckoo. Yes. Finally. Okay, finally. This is what I wanted. I didn't want the language. They're reasonable people. See? See Trump finally using the right language in these people. These are not moderates. They're not. This is not regime change. These are not reasonable people. They're cuckoo. Exactly, President Trump. You got this. You got this. That's what we have been saying, right?
Look, I completely agree. I'm noticing the shift in rhetoric because I've been waiting for it. Like, I'm a little bit sensitive to it because I'm like, finally, we're talking how we should talk about these people.
Right, right. You know what? Sometimes we have criticism for Trump. Sometimes we praise him. The next video of Trump is a praise one, okay? Because one thing I appreciate about President Trump a lot is that more than any other US politician, he keeps reminding everybody about what the Islamic Republic did to the Iranian people in January. I haven't seen any other US politician constantly bring up the mass slaughter of the Iranian people in January, right? So listen to this. This is what this part I 100% appreciate, and I love that he doesn't, because the Western media always forgets this. They constantly forget this, and President Trump doesn't, and he keeps bringing attention back to that. Like, everybody keeps wanting to move on and forget what just happened in January, and President Trump keeps bringing it up. That is something I am so grateful that President Trump does. So watch this part.
School. They're liars. They're cheats. They're sick people. They've hurt their people. They killed 54,000 people as of now that were protesting. You know, when people say, how come they haven't taken over? They can't take over because they're dead. They killed them. Nobody's going to take over. They have no guns, and the other side has machine guns. And they're killing them. The press doesn't report it. But they're bad people. They're bad people. And frankly, I don't want to waste my time with them. Now, I'll let our wonderful negotiators keep talking if they want, but I don't see it. School.
Wow. That's fantastic.
You
That's
see what
fantastic.
I'm saying?
Thank you. Yes, yes. This is great. I don't want to waste my time with them. Well, then don't
Yeah.
Don't waste your time with them. Yeah.
I also want to point out that a person like him, because he's a businessman, he does meet with a lot of business people, so he knows the difference that an individual can make. Now, when you look at the difference that an individual can make, an individual making breakthroughs in science, an individual making breakthroughs in medicine, an individual making breakthroughs in realty, in entrepreneurship, that is an incalculable cost. And when there is a loss of life as large as was had during that period in January, a very sad period of the slaughter, a person like him understands the incalculable loss of what could have been, right? Generations, like maybe it wasn't someone there, but their son or their daughter could have been a great person to do great things, and the regime has killed them, destroyed that future, and it's a loss that the Iranian people understand, but the media likes to ignore. And I like that he's pointing out that the media likes to ignore that, and that he understands the incalculable nature of the loss. It's like trillions of dollars. I don't know how to calculate the amount of loss of the talent of the generations that could have come from that. I don't want to dwell on it too much, except to say that this must be avenged. This regime has to fall.
Yep. That very well said. I actually keep getting really new updated news right now. Oh my god, here, this we got more up. Guys, I will read your super chat soon, but look at this. Okay.
It's a heavy news day.
This one. Yes, a very heavy news day. This one. Look at this. Even if they do reach a deal, he doesn't like it. Look at this one.
I'm not sure it will with Iran. If we make a deal with Iran, I'm not sure that will stick.
May I ask you,
Sir,
what does your
Because
That's a big deal. Like, he's saying even if we make a deal with them, he's not sure it will stick.
Look, we've been saying this for months.
Right. We have. But it's good to hear it from Trump himself.
Of course.
Okay, let's continue with this one here. This was important.
I'm
This
not
part
sure it
was
will
important.
with Iran. If we make a deal with Iran, I'm not sure that will stick.
May I ask you,
Sir,
what does your
Because I found them to be very dishonorable people. Yeah.
Are you going to reimpose the
I
naval
don't find that with
blockade?
him, and I mean, I don't want to upset him, but everything I've done with President Putin has been okay. It's been good. He's going to say, oh, but I would expect you to say that, but that's good. I don't think anything's going to be broken, and we're going to do a security guarantee in case it is. But with Iran, 47.
You know, I disagree with him on that. I disagree with President Trump. Putin is as much of a lying, backstabbing scum as the Islamic Republic is. So I do disagree with that.
Look, the only thing I'll say is taking away their sanctions and selling oil didn't help them at all. They're still rationing their gas. So, like any help we give Putin doesn't even make a dent in the damage that Ukraine is doing. So I think he's more market looking than thinking that he's helping Putin out in the war. And I think Zelensky knows that he's whipping Putin pretty hard. Any sober look at the reports coming out of there know that Putin is getting his whooped.
Yeah, but regardless of that, this statement that President Trump made is not true. You can't trust Putin with any deal. He is a lying, backstabbing scum, just like the Islamic Republic. I just want to be clear with that.
I don't think that's what he
is not
said,
true.
though. I think that like whatever deals they made,
No,
he said what he was going to do.
He differentiated. No, he differentiated the.
Well, let's roll it
Islamic
back. Maybe I
Republic
missed
and
it.
Okay. He's saying like with Putin, you could have a deal. With the Islamic Republic, you can't. That's what he's saying.
I'm not sure it will with Iran. If we make a deal with Iran, I'm not sure that will stick.
May I ask you,
Sir,
what does your
Because I found them to be very dishonorable people. Yeah.
Are you going to reimpose the
I
naval
don't find that with
blockade?
him, and I mean, I don't want to upset him, but everything I've done with President Putin has been okay. It's been good. He's going to say, oh, but
Everything
saying
I've
both
done
the-
with everything I've done
Hold on,
with
hold
Putin.
on. He's basically saying both. I could make deals with both Zelensky and Putin, but both of them, but not the Islamic Republic. That's what he's saying.
Well, that's not what he literally said. He literally said everything I have done.
Yeah, whatever.
Everything else is an
whatever
interpretation.
He does it, whatever he was basically putting them next to each other. He was saying like deals I could do with you. But also, I know this makes you upset, but also Putin. I just want to say, like, no, Putin is in the same league, same category as the Islamic Republic. But let me continue.
I would expect you to say that, but that's good. I don't think anything's going to be broken, and we're going to do a security guarantee in case it is. But
Yeah. So he's saying the deal that we're making with Putin is, I don't think it's going to be broken. No, Putin always backstabs.
with Iran, 47 years, this should have been done by another president a long time ago. Or
I think I know
somebody
what
else,
he's talking
another
about
country.
specifically.
Wait, hold on. Let me play this part.
47 years, this should have been done by another president a long time ago, or somebody else, another country. But they got stronger and stronger, and now they're weak.
Are you going to reimpose the
You know,
naval
don't
blockade
forget,
on
we knocked
Iranian
out
ports?
159 ships in 1 week. That's good even for you, right? 159. Their entire navy is at the bottom of the sea. And now they have little boats, little tiny boats that go around. And we knocked about 28 of them out last night with the same weapon we use for the drug people. You know, drugs are down, by the way. Drugs by sea are down 97%, meaning nobody wants to get into those boats and take drugs into it. They're down 97%. And we're using the same thing for the mine boats. You know, they like to drop mines in. And we hit a lot of them last night, like 28. We knocked out 28 boats last night, little ones. That's all they have is little ones.
Interesting.
I think I know
Um,
specifically what he's talking about. I think
Yeah.
he talks about it a lot. Like, this is a point that he brings up so much that to some people it's like, oh, here we go again. He's saying, when I talked to Putin and told him not to invade, that if he invaded, I would hit that button. He didn't invade. So when I make a deal with him and tell him not to invade, he doesn't invade. But when you have this Biden asleep at the wheel, you get an invasion. Like, this is just campaign rhetoric that he uses over and over. I think that's what he's talking about. Making
Yeah,
deals with
I
Putin,
just
I don't trust him, but I know
regard.
what he's talking about.
Yeah, I get, but again, whatever gameplay 5D chess is making, to me, that's a wrong statement to put Putin and Zelensky in the same category. I just want to clarify it. I just want to tell people that Putin is like the Islamic Republic. He behaves like them. He's a lying scumbag, backstabbing scumbag, and he doesn't. Zelensky and Putin don't deserve to be in the same category. That's what I'm just going to say. Do want to respond to the super chats. Push up saying, hope we get it done quick before Donald Trump's mood swings back. Yeah, hopefully, yes, hopefully. Me too. Well, again, we have to see. You know what it's going to take? Ghalibaf might, when Ghalibaf sees this, he's going to piss his own pants. He might gonna call President Trump, and I don't know if he's going to be able to say something to calm President Trump down or not. But Ghalibaf probably is going to be very desperate to get on the phone call with President Trump right now. Oh, why did you unstart that? I was going to highlight that.
Oh, silent protagonist was just echoing an upcoming statement about the interview.
It's okay. No, not that you unstarted it. It's okay. But I was going to go to that one next. But I'll do it later. Then I'll just do it later. But it's fine. Okay. Let me go to when you start something. You don't need to unstart it. Okay, because it's hard to find it now. But it's okay. Let's go to the next super chat. We got Sayed with a super chat saying, Armin, I just finished watching. Oh, there we go. Never mind. That's why you unstarted, because you saw it in a comment over here. So thank you, Sayed, for the opportunity, saying, Armin, I just finished watching your interview with Haviv. Great interview. Great job. Well, thank you, guys. I just I had an interview with Ask Haviv Anything. I think it was one of my best interviews. Monkey, you were watching it, right?
I was
it?
enjoying it very much, and I would recommend it. And thank you for Silent Protagonist for also mentioning and promoting it in the chat, because it was a very good interview.
And thank you, Sayed, for bringing this up so I could tell people about it. I'm going to put the link to it in the chat. I think it was one of my best interviews, but I don't know. You guys, I mean, the topics that I covered there is the topics that I really wanted the opportunity to cover. Haviv asked really good questions. He was such a experienced interviewer. Really great job. Asked me challenging questions, no softballs, challenged me a lot. And I think I did a really good job defending those positions.
What I liked about it is that he asked questions that would come from outsiders, like people who don't know anything would have these questions, and answering these questions that outsiders would have does a lot to solidify like the message, right? It gives you an opportunity to take anyone that had a lot of basic questions, that did not have a lot of basic understanding, into the workings of the IRGC, into the past, into the feelings within Iran, and how much that matters in the scale of things. I think that's very important, and I'm glad that he found a way to get it out there, and for you, and you have the skill to actually take that opportunity to do that. So I loved it.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that, guys. Again, I'll put the link in the chat one more time. Go watch it, and also thank him, because he was so great, and I really enjoyed that discussion. Okay, let's go back to the. Oh wait, we should do the super chats. Let me put it over here, and then okay. Thank you, Sayed. That was very nice. And then Fleshy Interloper with the super chat saying blockade must come back. Yes, President Trump. I think he did say the blockade.
Yes.
Didn't he? Yes.
He did say that.
He did say that the blockade.
He also said it's only on Iran. Everybody else is fine.
Yes.
He's worded it like that.
Actually, no. Here. I have the video. It's 30 seconds. Fleshy, look at this. I was prepared for your super chat. Here it is. Here's the video.
If we need to, on your order, Mr. President, we will hit even more and even deeper, because that's the consequence.
And we may put down the blockade. We may put it back, the blockade. And it'll only be a blockade for Iran. Anybody else can have whatever they want. Now, of course, they'll drop some mines if they can, if they can do it. but it's hard because we're taking out those little boats now with the same weapon we used to take out the drug lords and the boats coming in by sea. Think of it, 90.
Yeah, so the blockade may. He didn't say it will come back on. He said it may come back. So we have to see. Hopefully it will, though.
I think it's important that he's talking about NATO being more cooperative with the efforts because he's talking about NATO bringing in some boats into this. If I'm not mistaken, that was one of the things he was talking about. He was talking about clearing mines, and then he talked about NATO helping with that. So I'm hoping that's the thing. It's good to have a little bit of assistance because you don't want to carry all this weight by yourself. But yeah, it looks like things are happening.
Interesting. Yeah, let's go with the more of the super chats. Then we got another super chat. Elisheva saying, nice to see him finally say these things aloud. Will we eventually see a change in rhetoric towards Erdogan too? Not anytime soon, unfortunately. In fact, we're getting the opposite of that. But hey, we're getting a lot of what we want, so I'm not complaining. Right? So, as much as I heard Erdogan, right now at least, he's not as much of a threat to as the Islamic Republic. Would you agree with that? I think the Islamic Republic is far, far, far worse than the threat that is Erdogan. Again, I'm not a fan of Erdogan. Like, I hate the guy. But if we could get rid of the Islamic Republic, then the whole world will become a lot more ready for us to then push back against Erdogan.
I think there's a lot of pushback against him in his own country. I'd love to talk to a diaspora Turk that understands the nation and understands the people against him and for him, and just understand the politics over there, because I definitely don't. But I think there have been grumblings of people being kind of mad at him. He may I don't know if he's talking rhetoric to calm his people and redirect them, or if he would do more to basically calm down his rhetoric, and that would satisfy the people. I have no idea. Maybe change will come soon. I have no idea. I'd love to know more about this.
Okay, do you want to read this next super chat?
Don't worry about Putin. He is in a bunker ordering Steiner to counterattack. Yeah, Putin is having a lot of trouble. I mean, he's down bad.
And Monkey, the comment was by Fleshy Interloper. Don't know it. Forget to
He knows what's up. Fleshy Interloper posts very good things in our school discussion. He has great charts. He's looking at the straight. Fleshy Interlope is a great asset. A pleasure to have him with us.
You're okay. Okay. Thank you. Yes, he posts great reports in our discussion group. And then we got let me see. We got now Sarah with the super chat. Thank you so much, Sarah, saying thank you for your hard work, guys. Javicha, back at you. And Payende Iran. Thank you, Sarah. And then we got push-ups. Javicha. I like the way you said, Monkey. Javicha.
Push-ups. Long live the king, basically, right?
Yes, exactly. Push-ups with a super chat saying, reminder, Putin supports the Islamic Republic. Yes. And the Islamic Republic supports Putin. Evil mother tuckers, all of them. Yeah.
So he's like a backstabber by extension of supporting them.
Yeah. He has Putin, every single deal that has ever been signed between Western countries and Putin, he violated it. Like every single time. Like you could actually trust Putin. You can trust Putin. You can trust that he will violate the deals that you sign with him. That's the thing you could trust.
It's predictable.
That's a predictable thing about Putin. Yes. This is why we don't like negotiations with Putin either, because there's no point. Like, why would you negotiate with someone? No matter what you sign, he will go against it at some point. Shana, thank you so much for the super chat saying, I think it's interesting that the boom booms have started, even though it's not a weekend. Yep, because that's a good point, Shana. That shows that the Americans are losing their patience. Finally.
It may be a way to get the market kind of like stabilized around it. like, okay, market, this is what we're doing. It's not just a weekend. Just get used to this is happening because it may go on for a couple of weeks. It could be
I don't
that
think so. I think it's mostly just military, the necessity of responding to what the Islamic Republic did right away, because that was
Let's see what happens
especially
tonight.
because yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's go to this one here.
Their first set of
Let me see.
leaders, we took out their second set of leaders. They want to take out the U.S. leader, me. I'm on every list. I saw a thing this morning. I'm on every single one of their lists. And so far, I guess I've been a little bit lucky, but that maybe doesn't last very long because that's the way it goes. But we have great people. But these are evil, sick people, and we have to rid their cancer. Their cancer. You know what you do? You got to cut out cancer early. Man, that's the way I feel.
So when he says I'm in every one of their lists, he's talking about the fact that they want to assassinate him. Is that what he's talking about? Is that what that means?
I think so.
He says I'm in every one of their lists.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that's about.
Yeah, because I'm saying he says that so far I've been lucky. So he's like, yeah, that's what he means. So he, he considers himself to be lucky to still be alive, given that the Islamic Republic wants to assassinate him.
Well, a lot of people forget the foiled plots. Like we have documented FBI stopping plots by Iran aligned and Iran funded people to do exactly this. So he's not just saying it because they say it. He's saying it because plots have been foiled. This is documented. This is reported. This is out there. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
Interesting. Okay, let's watch this part. This one, guys, for people who just came, President Trump is saying basically it's over. Like it's over with the Islamic Republic. He doesn't want to do a deal anymore. This is the most significant, a huge tone shift. So listen to this part again, because this video captures the major tone shift that we're all talking about.
It's a very interesting question. To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people. And they're vicious, violent people. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. I'll speak to our negotiators. They want to.
As far as I'm concerned, it's over. As far as I'm concerned, this is huge. This is a huge tone shift. I've not seen him talking about he have you ever seen him giving up on negotiating with people? This is the first time. He usually threatens people a lot, saying we're going to negotiate with you. If it doesn't work out, we're going to do this and this and that, and significant threats. But now he's saying, I mean, I'm sure he has said it some other times, but I have never seen President Trump just basically give up on negotiations. Negotiations is his thing. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
I think for a time with Maduro, he was trying to negotiate. That the negotiations went silent, maybe behind closed doors, and then he just stopped talking about it and start building up, and then he just went and got him.
Interesting.
I also think that he's kind of giving up on Vance as he's like, you guys trying, but I don't think you're gonna make it. I'm not seeing it. The way he was framing it in one of those exchanges, he kind of mentioned the team that's trying to make a deal, but he's not seeing it. That there was some of the framing that he's not having faith in the team that's trying to make a deal being able to make any headway, and he's okay, you guys tried, you guys failed.
Okay, let's play the rest.
Negotiate. They're good people. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, but they have to come back to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them. They're liars. We make a deal, and if I make a deal with him, we have a deal. And he goes out, he talks. We make a deal. Everyone's agreed. No nuclear weapon. We make a deal. They go outside, talk to the press. They say we never even talked about it. There's something wrong with them. They're cuckoo. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
Any talks won't resume after we get through the funeral proceedings.
What?
Does this mean that talks with Iran will not resume?
I
after
don't
we
care.
get
They
through
can
the funeral?
talk, but I think they're wasting their time. They're a bunch of lying guys. I do my whole life. That's all I do is deals. My whole life that's how I became president. I guess that's a deal too, right? But I made a lot of money. I had a lot of great success, tremendous success. Everything I did, I was successful. And I deal with these guys, and I say this is from a different school. They're liars. They're cheats. They're sick people. They've hurt their people. They killed 54,000 people as of now that were protesting. You know, when people say, how come they haven't taken over? They can't take over because they're dead. They killed them. Nobody's going to take over. They have no guns, and the other side has machine guns. And they're killing them. The press doesn't report it. But they're bad people. They're bad people. And frankly, I don't want to waste my time with them. Now, I'll let our wonderful negotiators keep talking if they want, but I don't see it. I don't like these people. You know that? I like him. I like the leaders. I think all of these leaders.
Great. And they love.
I think they didn't treat the United States fairly for many years, but that's okay. But they're sane, rational, good people. Most of them. I don't like a couple of them, to be honest with you. But there are a couple I don't like much.
Wow. You know, Newberg, who's been very upset with President Trump's, is posted this saying, I'm not holding my breath, but fingers crossed that President Trump has finally opened his eyes. Do not negotiate with terrorists. What do you say to Newberg to this caption here?
I say we have been saying for weeks, like, this is not just, waiting for a deal. We're also doing things in Lebanon. We're also doing things in Iraq. And like, this is not like he was just sitting there doing nothing. There have been, we have to rearm. Our troops are not robots. They have to rest and rotate in and out. So I like this account. I would recommend people follow this account. Okay, I have nothing against Newberg, but I would like to add to that we haven't rested solely on the deal, and we have I almost want to go back to what he said, because the way he said, I don't see it. This isn't happening. They could talk about whatever they want. I don't care. She's not holding her breath, right? But I understand why she's keeping her fingers crossed and seeing the shift. So I support that she's seeing the shift. I would add to that we have not been sitting on our laurels.
Okay, good. We got 2 super chats. BT June, thank you so much, saying, I'm really for died like a dog energy. I don't know.
He died like a dog, like a beautiful dog. He died like a dog. Sad puppy.
No offense to dogs. I love dogs, but yes. Okay.
I think that's because and if you tell an Islamist you died like a dog, they would be offended.
Yeah, maybe. You're right. Ooh, let me put this. Ooh, oh my God. I have so many updates. Interesting updates. What the hell?
Heavy news. Heavy news day.
Heavy news day. Oh my God. Hard to keep track of all of this. There we go. Sorry, guys. 1 second. There we go. Okay. Right. Let's go. So let me actually play the video that Newberg. Oh, no. We got another super chat. I didn't read this one. PJ, thank you so much for the super chat, saying, thank you, Monkey Guy. And Armin, we will not stop fighting for the people of Iran. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. We will,
appreciate it.
Yeah, that's very nice. You
Love you, homies.
I keep saying that on the Iranian side, on my Persian channel, that how much support we're getting from the people around the world, from Israel, from the United States, from many people around the world. Sometimes a lot of Iranians feel abandoned, feel like the world just moved on and they've forgotten about them. So I try to remind them that it's not the case. We still have so many people in the United States, for example, that are still thinking about it.
Can I make a recommendation? Remind them, just like the IRGC doesn't represent you, sometimes these people's government don't represent them. Like, just if the Canadian people the Canadian people do support you, even if the Canadian government isn't out there saying, I'm going to go in, I hate it. The people support you. The France and Italy and a lot of these nations where the governments are kind of reticent to be involved, you have your support among the people. So remember that there's a difference between the government and the people, just like it's in Iran, it is in all nations, and your support is far greater than you would ever see from the governments. That's, a slight recommendation, so a way to phrase it, so that it sinks in. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, let's just also be clear: the divide between the Islamic Republic and the Iranian people is wider than wider than you could see in any other country, right? So, just want to clear that as well. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyways, let's actually watch this video that Neil Berg made, because President Trump mentioned 54,000 protesters that were massacred in early January. So I think she edited this, put them side by side.
I think he framed it as so far like it could be more.
Yeah.
And I deal with these guys and I say, this is from a different school. They're liars. They're cheats. They're sick people. They've hurt their people. They killed 54,000 people as of now that were protesting. When people say, how come they haven't taken over? They can't take over because they're dead. They killed them. Nobody's going to take over. They have no guns, and the other side has machine guns. And they're killing them. The press doesn't report it. But they're bad people. They're bad people. And frankly, I don't want to waste my time with them. Now, I'll let our wonderful negotiators keep talking if they want, but I don't see it. I don't like these people. And I deal with these guys.
Right.
You see how he says as of now, like that number isn't set in stone. Like that number could go a lot higher as investigations move forward and as they keep doing horrible things, because as far as I know, they're still doing executions, right? So these people are they're still horrible people to the people inside. And that number is not set in stone. It could go higher. Some estimates have it as high as 80, 100,000. We don't really know. But just putting it out there, that's like the soft floor. It's not a hard ceiling. Like that's the floor. It's not a hard ceiling. Like it could go up.
Yeah. You start this one. Mike was saying, you want to read this one?
For a second, you sounded like Nuxenor. I love Lord Nuxenor. He's one of the people that inspired me to be out here. Because there's a lot of people in the chat that they don't want to show their name. There's a lot of people in the chat that donate. They show their support, but they don't want to have their name out there. They don't want to have their face out there. But I want to tell you guys, you do matter. Your super chats do count. You are seen. You are, recognized as supporters. And, people like Nuxenor inspire people like me and people all over that, there is a way to be out here in your own way. So we support everybody in the chat that's out here in their own way, making a difference, doing these super chats, speaking, liking, subscribing, leaving those comments so the algorithm recognizes this channel. And we appreciate you greatly.
Thank you. And you want to read this one?
Thank you, Monkey. From Jagatai Khan. Thank you, Monkey. Jeffrey and all U.S. vets and active personnel. Yes. I want to thank all the soldiers out there. We are the voice, but you are the fist and the fury of the U.S. and sacrifices. Your sacrifices live in our hearts. I appreciate that. I'm sure Jeffrey does too, wherever he is. We're sending, big hugs to Jeffrey. Love that guy. And I thank you.
And Monkey, thank you for your service. And Jeffrey as well.
It's a pleasure to be of service.
And then we got Jennifer saying, thank you, Jennifer, for the super chat, saying Trump has understood the urgency all along. I would say that about Marco Rubio. Yeah. I would believe that about Marco Rubio. He understood from the
I think he had an idea and he has slowly come to realize that, like, sometimes you say, I know these people are terrible, but maybe I can get some good out of them. And I think with more time, he's like, nope, first impression was right. These people suck.
Right. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for the super chat. Push-ups with the super chat saying Neo is favorite Iranian commentator. No BS, no excuses. Yep, she does speak what's on her mind. By the way, she's been told by some people around her that hate Princess of Pahlavi's team that I am no good because I support Princess of Pahlavi's team. But there are some people that got to her, unfortunately, people who are uh, for monarchy, for Princess of Pahlavi, but against the people around Princess of Pahlavi. And I very much support Princess of Pahlavi's team. And they got to her and they told her, like, I don't know, what did they tell her about it? But she doesn't like me because of those people that told her that. But I love her. Even though she probably doesn't like me. Yeah. Princess of
I've been
Pahlavi
following her
himself
for a
has made
while.
Yes. Princess of Pahlavi himself has clarified many, many times that the team has not taken me hostage. Like, they're not going against me. Like, this is my team. I endorse everything that they do, but some people just don't listen.
A team should not be an echo chamber. Maybe there's perspectives in the team that some people don't want heard, but it's good to understand different perspectives. I'm not well informed on the team, but I think that sometimes brings contention. Like, people get mad at Trump for having Vance on the team and Rubio, but sometimes you want to hear both sides before making a decision. Right now, we heard Vance, it didn't work out, negotiations fell through, but you want to be able to hear both sides and see what's best. So not being in an echo chamber is important. I don't know if that's the situation specifically, but I would have that be heard. Like, you don't want to have just one voice. You don't want an echo chamber. You want different perspectives. And as a wise person, I think Prince Reza Pahlavi would have a diversity of opinion and perspectives to inform him. It's a team. It's not like he's leading the team. He's not led by the team. This would be my guess.
Okay, we got another super chat by Fleshy Interloper. Thank you so much, Fleshy, saying this is raw Trump, no theater. He is done with the Islamic Republic. Is that your sense as well?
I would hope so. This would be my hope. Like, I have to be iffy because I can't be sitting here setting up like very specific expectations. But if I check my gut, that's my gut feeling. Like, I'm with you on that, 100%.
Okay, thank you, Fleshy. And then we got another super chat from Nima. Nima, thank you so much, saying, I think Trump always knew but needed to show the American people why there is no talks with the regime. That's why we saw negotiations. I think it doesn't, for
It's
me,
layered.
it doesn't make sense. Yeah, for me, you can't know what you can't know, right? So, for example, Rubio have shown his deep. I'm pretty sure President Trump has some understanding of the Islamic Republic, right? But I don't think he has as much of a detailed information as somebody like Rubio. I mean, he can, because Rubio is an expert at this, right? And instead of me just guessing about who knows what, Rubio has demonstrated that he knows the Islamic Republic inside and out. I mean, to be fair to President Trump, he can't just spend time becoming an expert at every single thing. That's why he relies on other people, right? Like, no president is going to become an expert at every single country and every single politician. You can't do that. There's not enough time for you to become an expert in the internal politics of every single country. Rubio, because of what he's been involved with, he had the time to do that. And that's why I think a president needs to rely on the expertise of other people, like, for example, like somebody like Rubio, for example.
I would also point out that things have changed. People forget, they see the now and they don't know how many things have happened. Let's be clear. We started with, 13,000 warheads on foreheads, on equipment, on stuff. Like, this is where we started, right? And then we went on to a blockade. Then there were talks while we rearmed and resupplied. Then we hit again. And then we did a blockade. During the blockade, we did an economic attack. Now we're getting into Lebanon. We're getting into Iraq. Like, things have not stagnated. This whole time that we've been negotiating, this is true. The American people don't want to go straight into a war, no negotiation. Like, this is not a false premise. Like, this is also something that we're doing. We're trying to show the American people, hey, these people can't be dealt with. But while that's happening, other things are happening. We're on many fronts, is what I would say.
Mhm. Thank you for that, Nemo. And then we got another super chat from Shona saying Vance is against selling land to China, and selling land to China, and though and
Tough.
on immigration. And tough on immigration. Sorry, and tough on immigration policy that I like, but Rubio is better internationally. Wait, selling land to China? What is that all about? I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so usually when you go to a foreign land, like if I go to Iran, I can't buy Iranian land unless I'm a citizen.
Oh,
If
no. Okay, got it. Not to China. You mean to the Chinese people in United States? Okay, so the Chinese people. Okay, so
and
yes, I do
companies.
and companies. Okay. So yes, those. To be fair, as much as I do not like Vance, I agree with him on those policies. But to be fair to but to be said to let me actually defend Rubio. Rubio probably has those policies as well, right? So on international policy, Rubio is better than Vance. On internal policy, they're probably the same. Like I think Rubio would agree with those as well. So Rubio is superior in every way, in my opinion.
If I look, I'll probably find Rubio saying that too.
Yes, exactly. So that's not a Vance exclusive, right? I'm not. By the way, I'm not disagreeing with you, Sean. I just am using that as an opportunity to praise Rubio. And then Nino with the super chat saying Vance trans snake dance. Okay. Okay.
Look, I'm gonna predict it. Vance is gonna say they were terrible. We couldn't negotiate with them. We tried everything we could.
Right.
You know, they're hard to understand because they're full of shit. You know, something like that. There's gonna be a flip there. I can almost, you know, I can't guarantee it, but I got a feeling.
Yeah. Oh, see, we're getting a confirmation here. Somebody's agreeing with us. Where is it? Where did I go? Yeah, Rubio's track record. Rubio's track record isn't as hardline on immigration as the American public is now. Really? Because I've seen some comments from him that he was actually very hardline. I guess I'll look into it then. And then we got Amir with 5 membership gifts to the people in the chat. Always with the gift baskets. Thank you so much, Amir. Always supporting us. Very nice. Thank you.
To be fair, his track record might have come before anything before Biden would be. You'd have to see through a different lens.
Right. Okay. Let's look at this one. President Trump here. Another comment.
Yes, ma'am.
You said that dealing with the Iranians is a waste of time. How do you plan to get the nuclear material and the nuclear assurances that you want?
Well, we've already got the nuclear material because it's so far underground. Nobody's going to be able to get it except us because we have the equipment that can get it. But
that part, nobody except you and China, which is an ally of the Islamic Republic is a proxy of. So they technically can get that.
so far underground, nobody's going to be able to get it except us because we have the equipment that can get it. But I call it the nuclear dust. The nuclear material is so far down underneath the mountain, and now that's been determined, that it would take massive machinery that we have that no other country has.
Mr.
They can't
President,
get
so
it.
you have no plans to go in, boots on the ground?
Why would I go in now? I go in when they're completely either eliminated or whatever happened, or an agreement's made. Yes, ma'am.
What do you think about all this?
Yeah, I mean, what's China gonna do? I mean, China has plenty of nuclear material. Why would they spend the money and the time to go over there to get something underground? They could just give them material they have. Like if you're gonna go through the very public, very open, and everybody's gonna watch you trying to get that nuclear material, it'd be a lot easier to just give them nuclear material. I don't think China's gonna go over there and get it for them. Like if they were gonna do anything, they'd just give it to them because it's so much easier than spending billions of dollars, sending people, sending equipment, sending experts to get that. It doesn't make sense. China, I don't think China would do it, not because they're too loyal or too, because I think it's just not practical for China to do that.
Yeah, but still, we can't say that the Islamic Republic doesn't have access to that. Like that enriched uranium needs to get diluted or get out of there. You can't just leave it there and be like, it's okay, they don't have access to it. Like, that's not okay.
I don't think that's okay, but I don't think China's going to dig it out. Not for them, not for anyone. China has so many of its own problems with the economy. They're not going to spend money on that.
I know, but like you already said that, but I just want to make it very clear that there should be zero tolerance for leaving that enriched uranium there inside Iran, in my opinion.
Oh, I would agree. Absolutely.
Okay. Noah, thank you so much for the membership gift. Always supporting us. You're very kind. Thank you so much for always having our back. Thank you. Okay. President Trump had some other comments regarding Turkey. Here, look at this one.
If it weren't for me, he would have gone in, and he would have been on the other side. Even though I don't think he likes the other side either, because he happens to be very sane, and they happen to be very crazy. But so I think they treated us right. I think
Wait,
if it weren't for me, he would have gone in.
wait. He's talking about this is not the one. Trump Trump and Erdogan. I don't think Erdogan likes Iran either. Erdogan happens to be very sane, and the Iranians happen to be very crazy. Okay, so this is not the right clip, but that President Trump did say that. I don't think Erdogan likes Iran either. Erdogan happens to be very sane, and the Iranians happen to be very crazy. I don't like it that he's saying Iranians instead of the Islamic Republic, but whatever. So he's comparing Erdogan with everybody these days.
But he's a guest at their house.
Yes. But hold on. He also had some comments on NATO. What do you think he's going to say about NATO? Do you want to guess?
I'm guessing it's good that they're going to help now with their boats. We appreciate. We don't need them, but it's about time they got on board because we're glad they're going to come in because they should have been on board from the start. Something like that. I'm just stabbing in the dark, but I don't know. That would be my guess, like an underhanded compliment.
Okay, let's see what he says. I haven't watched this, by the way. This is the first time.
With NATO because of what they did with Greenland.
I'm unhappy because what they did with Greenland.
With NATO because of what they did with Greenland, and I'm not happy with NATO because of the fact that
I can barely hear it.
the number one.
Yeah, it's very low. I'm just going to read the caption. He says, "I am not happy with NATO because of what they did with Greenland and Iran." That's what he's saying. So apparently the only person within NATO that Trump is happy with is
Poland?
Turkey. No, Turkey.
Well, Turkey is active now, but Poland has always been solid. Like, that's our guys.
Okay, going back to Turkey, President Trump is talking about Erdogan and Netanyahu. Let me see if this is a good idea. Is this a good idea?
I like.
Okay, that's better idea. So this is about the relationship between Erdogan and Israel. Trump is commenting on that.
But there are a couple I don't like much. But I like Erdogan. I'll tell you, I like President Erdogan. He rolled out the red carpet. He's terrific. He could have gone into the war. A lot of people saying, like with Bibi, I like Bibi. I think Bibi was a terrific wartime prime minister. But Bibi said rough things yesterday about Turkey and Erdogan. And I said, I spoke to him. I said, he could have gone into the war because he doesn't like Israel much. And he doesn't like Bibi much. And he didn't go because of me. And this is a military power. Millions of soldiers. Turkey is very strong. They have a lot of our best equipment. They're trying to get the F-35s. But he didn't go in. He would go in. If it weren't for me, he would have gone in. And he would have been on the other side. But there are a couple I don't like much.
What do you think about that?
I don't like it.
You don't?
I don't like it at all. Well, I mean, it's like saying, I think you gave a good analogy about this, right? Like it's like someone, like, someone you're out here with your brother. Someone beats your brother, right? And this other guy say, "Hey, I'm gonna beat your brother too." And this guy came and say, "Hey, you know what? He could have beat your brother too. He didn't. but he could have. Like, how is that helping me? How is that good? What are you doing here? What is this about? Okay, so this guy could have also beaten my brother. Why am I going to give him flowers? Why am I going to be nice to this guy that, could have beat my brother but didn't? Like, why is that such a great? Oh, you're so nice for not beating my brother while he was engaged in something. Oh, thank you so much for not beating my. No, that's a threat. That's like, just because you didn't do it, that doesn't make you a good person. That makes you normal. Like, normal people stayed out of it. Why would you get into this? What is it? If you don't like Iran, why are you getting into this? Do you just hate my brother? Like, I'm trying to make this analogy because we're kind of brothers, cousins. What would you call Israel? If we're gonna make a family analogy, we're kind of brothers.
Yeah, and also Erdogan did fund Hamas, and basically October 7th.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
So yeah, again, I cannot stand President Trump tolerating and praising a person that praised October 7th. Like, we're guys, this is like this is not based on interpretation. Erdogan praised Hamas and October 7th, and President Trump is praising Erdogan. So President Trump is praising the person that praised October 7th. I don't like this at all. Like, I don't like this one.
Look, I know he's a guest to Turkey. Like he's a guest at their house. It's not going to trash him in his house. But you don't have to do this. You're going too far. You're going too far. There's a difference between not trashing them and giving them flowers they don't deserve.
This is not about being a guest. He's been this praising of Erdogan has been going on for a while, like a long time. He praises Erdogan more than most people.
Like I said, I don't like it.
Yeah. Okay. So here again, I don't know if this is a different clip or the same clip, but this is again about Erdogan and Netanyahu.
Your relationship in the last couple of days with President Erdogan of Turkey. He said that Erdogan has imperial ambitions on neighboring countries.
Oh, Bibi had said that Erdogan has imperial ambitions.
Is this the decapitator?
Yeah, this is ISIS. President Trump is sitting next to ISIS. Yeah. This is Al-Jolani or Al-Shara. Two names. He has two names. He's gaining weight.
Your relationship in the last couple of days with President Erdogan of Turkey. He said that Erdogan has imperial ambitions on neighboring countries, presumably including Syria.
Well, he hasn't been involved with Syria. If you think, he hasn't been involved with Israel at all, and he's left it alone. I wouldn't say he's a friend, because he's not a friend of, as you know, of Netanyahu, of Bibi. They don't get along, I think. But for me, he's been great. Look, Turkey's been fantastic and a fantastic ally. They're also a NATO country.
Again, remember, Turkey, even if you think about Turkey's relationship with the United States, Turkey didn't allow United States to use U.S. air bases when it comes to attacking the Islamic Republic. The same thing President Trump keeps criticizing NATO member countries for. You know who did? Israel. Not only Israel participated in helping United States in that war, and Greece did. Greece is the enemy of Turkey. Israel is an enemy of Turkey. So I don't understand why we're saying United States has a good relationship with Turkey when they couldn't even allow their bases to be used against the Islamic Republic during Operation Epic Fury.
I think there's a larger point that's being missed here. He said Turkey is not involved with Israel. Isn't that factually false? Weren't they involved with Hamas and helping October? That's like factually no, they were involved. They did help Hamas. So like I would go to that point also. Like what you brought up is a good point, but I would add that like no, what do you mean they're not involved? They're directly involved.
Thank you for I almost missed that. That's good thing you catch that. Good job.
Netanyahu or Bibi, they don't get along, I think. But for me, he's been great. Look, Turkey's been fantastic and a fantastic ally. They're also a NATO country. And Israel, no president's done as much for Israel as I have. Nobody even close. If you look at
your relationship.
Look at this next clip. This clip next. By the way, guys, I see the super chats. We're going to respond to them soon. Thank you for that. But look at this one. Monkey, I want to see what you think about this. Let me play this.
You wouldn't have, and if you had a different president, I guarantee there would be, and Israel wouldn't exist today if you didn't have me as president.
Israel wouldn't exist if you didn't have me as president. What do you think about that? I think a lot of Israelis.
I don't know. I think he's talking about the nuclear Iran, that Iran would like bring down some kind of nuclear oh my God, cluster bomb. I think that's what he's talking about specifically. I wouldn't word it like that. I think they'd use the Samson option and then we'd have a new nuclear war. I think that is what he's specifically talking about. But in any other sense, Israel is quite capable of defending itself. The only threat that you could really make against Israel, because of its size, and it is tiny, it is pathetic and ridiculous, the amount of large Islamic countries around Israel. When you look at a map of all the large Islamic countries around Israel, and Israel's just tiny right there, it's ridiculous how scared they are. But I think it's only in a nuclear sense. In any other sense, it doesn't even make sense.
But I could tell you, a lot of Israelis don't like hearing this. I know a lot of Israelis really hate. Let me. Torah is saying, what did he say? Did he really say that? And Torah is an Israeli. I'll play it again. He's saying Israel wouldn't exist if it wasn't because of me.
I think he's talking about the nukes, though.
I know. But like Israelis in the chat, let me know what you think about this. Let me play it again.
You wouldn't have, and if you had a different president, I guarantee there would be, and Israel wouldn't exist today if you didn't have me as president.
So Israelis in the chat, what do you guys think about this comment? Because most of my Israeli friends, at least, would not like this. Am I correct to assume that a lot of Israelis would not like that?
I just think he's telling Americans, look, I had to attack Iran. If I hadn't attacked Iran, we wouldn't have Israel, and we need to have Israel.
Torah in the chat is saying this makes me mad as F.
Well, I hope, knowing we love you, Torah. Torah's been around for a while, so like his name is very familiar to me. Love you, homie.
Okay, the Israelis in the chat are not happy. Okay, so
look, if I was an Israeli, I'd be pissed. I understand the perspective.
So look at this. This is an interesting comment saying it's a dick move, but he's not wrong. Is it not wrong? Because I don't know if Israel would. I don't think it's true. I think Israel.
What's the alternative? Okay, we didn't have to attack Iran because Iran wasn't a nuclear threat to Israel, so we should have never interfered. That's the alternative.
Yes, but Israel would have interfered with the United States if it gets that close. If it ever gets close, and because Israel is watching everything in Iran. Israel is watching everything in Iran, and they know what's happening. If it's ever getting close enough for the Islamic Republic to actually have a nuclear weapon, they're not just going to sit by and wait for the United States to give them permission to go in. They will go in and they would do whatever they need to do to finish the job. I mean, Israel has nukes. The Islamic Republic doesn't have nukes. If Israel sees that the Islamic Republic is getting close to getting nukes, they will do whatever it's needed to stop that. So Israel does everything in its power to make sure it keeps U.S. support. But if it comes to an existential crisis, then they will just go it alone. Whatever cost that they have to pay for that, they will do it. So I don't think that that's true. I think even without the United States, even without President Trump, if it ever gets to that close for Israel to be in that much of a threat, then Israel would do it alone.
I think we're stacking so many ifs. We're making a very iffy Jenga tower. If this, if that, if US did, if. We can if ourselves into any situation. But the reality of the fact is that everything would change if Iran set off a nuke. Everything would change. Every Islamic country would attack. Israel would not be what it was. It would not be what it was. It would fundamentally change what it is.
That is so unfair because the whole thing started with an if statement by President Trump. So it's fair for us
Yes.
to talk about ifs. So, saying this is, hold on, let me finish my point. Saying this is iffy, we're talking about the future. Obviously, we have to talk about ifs. So don't come at me by saying that this is an if statement. Every time I'm analyzing the future, it's going to be about possibilities, not about certainty. So obviously, it would be about ifs. But when it comes to nuclear weapons, Israel, yes, United States does a great job stopping the Islamic Republic from becoming nuclear. But it's not true to say that without President Trump, Israel would not exist today. That is not a true statement. That is not a true statement because that comes with the assumption, with the false assumption that Israel is just going to sit back like like a potato, sitting back and not doing anything and watching the Islamic Republic getting nuclear just because the United States is not supporting it. That would not happen. Israel would not do that. So it's not true to say Israel would not exist today if it wasn't for President Trump. That's a false statement.
Well, Russia has nukes, China has nukes, Iran is their baby. Like you would, if we're gonna get iffy with it, we have to get. Well, if they did that, if that happens, then what China and Russia would do was they might nuke Israel, and they got a lot of nukes.
Okay, China. And
if we're
Russia
getting
will
iffy.
never Okay.
Oh no, we can't. That we're getting iffy. We can't say they won't because you're saying they're going to do that. Well, we have to accept the fact that they might.
All right, I'm gonna make this point, and I'm gonna go. Then we're gonna have to move on. Okay. First of all, China and Russia will not, in no reasonable scenario in this universe, will China and Russia nuke Israel. Okay, and actually talking about if you actually look at other countries that have nukes, this also will support that Israel will never stand by, let the Islamic Republic get nuclear, okay? Because it was the rest of the world that was not Israel that allowed North Korea to become nuclear, right? It was the rest of the world that tried to deal with North Korea in the ways that right now we're dealing with the Islamic Republic, with negotiations and agreements and signing papers. And now North Korea is a nuclear weapon. But if you look at Israel's track record, the reason why Iraq and Syria are not nuclear weapon countries right now, it's because of Israel and Israel alone. The reason why North Korea is nuclear is because of the rest of the world try to stop North Korea from becoming from having nuclear weapon, but agreements, signing papers, and negotiations. The reason why Iraq, that almost had nuclear weapons, and Syria, that almost had nuclear weapons, the reason why those two countries right now don't have nuclear weapons, because Israel tried to get the world involved in stopping them, and they didn't, and it did it alone, and it stopped them. Right, so this is Israel's doing. In fact, I would say the other way around. I think it's other countries who are existing today because of Israel. Other countries exist today because Israel stopped Iraq and Syria from becoming nuclear. Kuwait, for example, would not exist today if Iraq had a nuclear weapon. So instead of telling Israel that they owe us for existing, we should be thanking Israel for making it possible for other countries existing, because it stopped Syria from having nuclear weapon, it stopped Iraq from having nuclear weapon, and it's now stopping the Islamic Republic from having a nuclear weapon. And I think this is not how to talk about an ally. The way you talk about an ally is not you exist because of me.
I don't think you're going to give me a chance to reply. So yeah, it's your show. So yeah, have the last word.
No, go ahead if you want to have the last word. But I think
we were talking about ifs. You're getting into, well, can I have the last word or not?
Let me just say one thing and then you have the last words, okay? I think it's a useless criticism to keep talking about ifs, okay? I always deal skeptically about the future. So when we're talking about things that could happen, it's useless to say you're saying ifs, because of course, the things that have already happened are things that we're certain about. The things that haven't happened, we're never certain about. But we could be close to certain based on looking what happened already in the past. So yes, we're talking about ifs, but there's some say when we talk about ifs, that means that we're not talking about 100% certainty. But based on what happens in the past, we could talk about these things with some degree of certainty, given what Israel has done, given what China has done, given what Russia has done, and given about the geopolitical nature of the world right now and everyone's interests. even if we're saying if means that it's not 100%, it's still pretty good and high enough for us to be able to talk about it in a degree of certainty. So the criticism of like, oh, you're talking about the ifs, I think it's a useless criticism when you actually can show where I'm wrong about this, and that's why you keep pointing out the lack of 100% degree of certainty and keep saying you're talking ifs. It's a useless criticism. But go on.
Well, I will say that saying that nuclear proliferation hasn't been stopped by America, it's been Israel, that America had nothing to do with Syria not getting a nuclear weapon, that America, the USA, people aren't popping up with nukes everywhere, but it's not because of USA, it's because of Israel. That's why people all over the world don't have nukes. It's not USA, it's Israel. Like, if we're going to talk about ifs, that's a big if, right? I'm on Israel's side here. I'm just saying there are a lot of reasons why the fundamental relationship and status of Israel would change. The politics would change. The way they live life would change. They would flip into a complete wartime economy. Everything which everybody would be like, they already have mandatory, enlistment. That would probably go all the way into the people that are very religious. The Orthodox, they would probably get recruited to it. Like it would not exist as it is. I'm not saying it would be wiped off the face of the earth. I'm saying there would be fundamental changes into what Israel is, and it would not be what it is now. So I didn't say it would be eliminated. I wouldn't say it'd be wiped off the face of the earth. I think everything would change fundamentally.
Okay, I completely agree with that. And that would be an accurate statement. That would be an accurate statement with every country. Every country would be different if President Trump was not the president. Yes, but that's not what President Trump said. I agree with what you said.
Oh, I don't agree with what he said or the way he said it. But I think he's specifically talking about the nuclear thing and playing to a U.S. audience.
Okay, but I wasn't finished talking. But I'm saying what you're saying is something different, which I agree with. But the statement that Israel would not exist if it wasn't for President Trump is not what you said. But what you said is correct. What President Trump said here is not correct, in my opinion. Anyways.
Yeah, like I said, I don't agree with him.
Yeah, I know. I didn't negate you. Don't get defensive. All right.
Well, I love you too.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what you're saying here. Okay, we got some super chats, by the way. Guys, I see a lot of people who like President Trump are getting upset with me. I don't know what you want me to do. I keep praising President Trump when I think he's right. I keep saying he's wrong when I think he's wrong.
Yes, sorry, Chad. I basically agree with Armin. So I mean, don't get mad at me too.
I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do. You want me to lie to you so I could keep you here? If you want me to lie to you about my opinions to keep you here, let me know in the chat. If you want me to just say things that you enjoy hearing, or do you actually interested in what I think? You know, the good thing about our chat here is that even if you disagree with us here, we could be here together and have that disagreement with each other, right?
Look, some people in the chat say never argue with a primate. I think arguing with primates is very entertaining. We monkey around, we do a little monkey dance. I think it's fun.
Wait, never argue with the primate? Aren't we primates?
I know. You know what? That's a good point.
What the? So never argue with a human? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
No, it's someone in the chat, and I didn't take offense to it. I took it as a joke. So, it's fine. We're joking. It's, we're like, this is all just a sharing different perspectives. Nothing here is taken way too serious. We're not actually like angry. We're just passionate about showing our perspectives.
Okay, we got some super chats. Let's respond to those. Fleshy Interloper with the super chat saying nuclear dust is not involved till it's
not solved.
Out of. Oh, sorry. Nuclear dust is not solved until it's out of Iran. Yeah, either that or diluted inside Iran.
No, I would say until the IRGC is gone, because they could make more nuclear dust.
There you go. That's fantastic. You know what? You corrected me. You're right. Actually, you're right. Nuclear dust is not solved until IRGC falls and Pahlavi returns into Iran.
Yes.
And then we got Shauna. Thank you so much, Shauna, for the super chat saying immigration and Iran sales weren't European. Oh, sorry. immigration. What's wrong with me today? Immigration and land sales weren't GOP before Trump. Rubio ran against Trump in 2026. Rubio just needs to update his position now that he understands where the American public are at. Okay, that's interesting. I did not know that. I mean, I knew that Rubio ran against Trump, but I didn't know this whole immigration and land sales issue was something that Rubio needs to update himself on. But it's a good information. But I also do want to reminder to people, Vance called President Trump Hitler. So I know Rubio ran against President Trump, but he never called President Trump Hitler, and Vance did. But go on, Monkey.
Yeah, she's correcting that it was 2016. So this was a
2016,
long
yes.
time ago. This was before
Yes.
the Biden flood. And also, Rubio was such a good debater that the best weapon Trump had against Marco Rubio was calling him Little Marco, because couldn't really argue the points. Like, Trump is good because he'll break you down like that if he can't break you down another way. But Rubio was good. Rubio was very good on the debate stage.
Yeah. And then BT June, thank you so much, BT June, for the super chat, saying he's wrong, but I can see a world where Trump thinks he can praise someone into submission to him, making Erdogan his teacher's pet to fall in line. Yeah, I think that's his. Yeah, I think that when he really wants to do a deal with somebody, he praises them like that. It is his strategy. And you know what? And to be honest, it might also sometimes, it might also work. Like, I see the utility of it, but I don't like it. You know what I mean? And I don't like the consequences of Erdogan, who supported Hamas, getting praised like that. I understand from the perspective of Trump, this might just be the art of the deal. But again, for the consequences to Israel and the Middle East and the rest of us, with this becoming normalized, I can't, both of these could be true at the same time. It might be a negotiation strategy that might even work. It also has a lot of negative consequences. So you're right. BT June, you're right, and we could be, and both of those, they're not contradicting each other. Yeah.
I think that technique is a little older than the art of the deal. It's called schmoozing. Trump is what is known as a schmoozer. A schmoozer is someone that has a lot of praise, a lot of compliment, and will try to compliment you into a position, or at least being open to it. But he might be putting his position forward and knowing that there will be so much opposition that position isn't tenable. For example, I think it's a Graham in the Senate already says, no, I'm going to oppose this in the Senate with this F-35 deal. So there's already talk they're not going to get it. They're not going to get those jets. So, he might be saying something there that he can't actually deliver on. And he could just say, well, I really tried. I love you, Erdogan. I gave it all I had. But the Senate, they kind of held me back. So, we don't know we don't know how this will end.
Okay. We got another super chat. Do you want to read this one?
Casey Pierce says Spencer's message to communists was epic. I think this is a candidate in California, recent candidate in California. I think it's, yeah.
Really? Ooh, Monkey.
He doesn't like him.
Maybe you should respond to that. You should play it on your segment.
I definitely will.
Okay, that's good. Thank you for letting us know. Okay, let's go back to President Trump. Did we play this one? Oh no, we haven't finished this one yet.
From southern Lebanon.
Well, I talked to Bibi about that. Yeah, I think they're going to. I think they want to.
Oh wait, look at this. President Trump is saying Israel is going to withdraw troops from southern Lebanon. No, I hope not.
We're de-nuking Iran. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon. All right, one more question.
Sir, do you think Israel should withdraw troops from southern Lebanon?
Well, I talked to Bibi about that. Yeah, I think they're going to. I think they want to. I don't think it's a question of me. I think it's a question they want to. And they're getting along with Lebanon. They're signing deals with Lebanon. First time ever. Marco, talk about that. All right? We're de-nuking Iran. They're not going to.
Well, I don't think so. But didn't the peace deal that Lebanon and Israel signed with each other basically gave permission to Israel to just stay in southern Lebanon? That's
He
what I
said
thought.
he made a very important caveat there, if that's what they want. And he said, Marco, talk about it. I want to hear what Marco says, because he's like basically deferring to Marco on what's going on over there. So like right there, they cut it off where Marco's about to come in and say what's going on, which I would love to hear, because I don't think this gives correct context, because it doesn't give the full weight of the statement, because he is referring some information into what Marco is about to say, and we're cutting it off before he gets basically a report from Marco publicly here about how that situation is going on. I don't know if they have come to a deal, or like, hey, we did what we wanted here. Maybe you guys can come over here and guard. I don't know what's going on between the Lebanon and Israeli military. They may be getting along great. They may be training each other. It may be going swimmingly. And the more time he's in Turkey, the more they would be together, just to like, hey, keep those guys over there.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to find a rest of the clip, because I think Rubio would give us a
better understanding of what's going on. Yeah, Marco Rubio is great on that. I think he was very much involved in all these situations. I think it was magnificent seeing the Lebanese and the Israelis come together against Hezbollah. Hezbollah is just a blight on the earth, a terrible, terrible first child of the IRGC. You got something for us? You find it?
Yeah, I think I found it. I think it's this one. Let's see.
If we hit Iran, oil goes up a little bit. It's all right.
Mr. President, do you think
And you know,
Israel?
we're de-nuking it. All right. We're de-nuking Iran. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon. All right. One more question.
Sir, do you think Israel should withdraw troops from southern Lebanon?
Well, I talked to Bibi about that. Yeah, I think they're going to. I think they want to. I don't think it's a question of me. I think it's a question they want to. And they're getting along with Lebanon. They're signing deals with Lebanon. First time ever. Marco, talk about that if you like.
Yeah, we have an agreement that, and it calls, that's the goal at the end.
Nope.
Obviously, Israel's concerned about their security. But the president did a great job bringing those two countries together for the first time.
It's a big thing. First time in many years, right? So we have a deal with Israel and Lebanon. And yeah, they'll leave. And I think it's going to work out very well.
Okay, so Rubio said at the end. So one day, inshallah, maybe. At the end
also, if they want to, that's an important distinction, because if Israel wants to leave, well, let them. What if they, you're not going to keep them there. They don't want to be there, right?
Yeah. Well, but for the foreseeable future, I think I hope Israel gets to stay in southern Lebanon, and even when they leave, I hope they maintain a buffer zone. Oh,
look,
here.
let me give you a different scenario here. What if all Hezbollah is dead? Then let them leave, right? I mean, if that's what's going on, like if we're really, really sure, I mean, yeah, you could go home.
And then we got Roy here saying, Armin, the IDF is returning certain parts to Lebanese army as a pilot. Yeah, as a test. But only certain parts. There's still a huge area in southern Lebanon that are going to keep occupying. And
that
if the
might be
Lebanese
what
army
they mean. No, but that makes sense. Like, hey, we're giving these parts back to the Lebanese army. Maybe that's what they're talking about.
Maybe. But like the way they talked about it, no, I mean, they said they're going to leave southern Lebanon. Like that was a more absolutist statement over there. But whatever. Okay, so let's go to this one. I want to see what you think about this. So this terrorist. First of all, what do you think about this picture? President Trump shaking hands with ISIS.
I think what things happen. Maybe he slowed down a little. Maybe he's calmed down on the jihad. He is getting fatter, so that's a good sign. Stay home, eat some donuts, calm down.
What do you guys think about this picture in the chat? I mean, I don't know. I don't trust terrorists. I mean, it's not about trust, though, obviously.
Well, the thing is, I don't like the things that are going on in Syria. That's what unsettles me about this picture. It's not who he is or his past. It's the present that unsettles me. Because as far as I've seen from some reports, and it may not be widespread, it may just be in some areas, but even if it's in some areas, it worries me. And usually what you see is just the tip of the iceberg, which worries me more. Things going on in Syria with Christians, with with the, I think it's the Druze also, with a lot of communities. I don't. What I've been seeing is not giving me any reason to like this image.
Somebody look at this. Israeli is saying, I think Trump is shaking the same hand that held up an innocent person's severed head. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus.
I tried to find it. Like I literally tried to find pictures of this guy doing it. I know people under his direct command did it. I could not find a picture of it. I don't doubt that it could happen. Like I wouldn't doubt that at some point, you know, he played soccer, basketball with someone's head. These are evil. You can't be nice and be in ISIS. That's not allowed. And to lead ISIS, oh my God, you probably got to do some terrible things. So you know, I'm not gonna doubt it, but I can't prove it.
So somebody's saying, is Funson is saying that photo, is it real? It's worse. It's not even a photo. It's a video, and it is real. Let me actually. It gets worse actually.
Rowdy, you have any questions?
It wasn't me. It's
Wait,
AI.
Wait, hold on. Listen.
Rowdy,
Oh, he said proud of you. He said to Al Jolani, proud of you here.
Rowdy, you have any questions?
Mr. President, are you going to remove Syria from the state sponsor of terrorism list?
I think I will. Yeah. I think I will. Why wouldn't I? He's done a great job. Maybe he would have brought that up in a little while, but that's a good question. Yeah. Any problems with that? I think we should. Yeah, I will.
Do you still want Syria to help?
He just made up his mind right here. Like at first it was like not sure. Like that's a good point. Yeah, I will. So he's gonna remove them from the terror list. You watch this again here.
Rowdy, you have any questions?
Mr. President, are you going to remove Syria from the state sponsor of terrorism list?
I think I will. Yeah. I think I will. Why wouldn't I? He's done a great job. Maybe he would have brought that up in a little while, but that's a good question. Yeah. Any problems with that?
I think that's up to the State Department. Texas was saying that in the chat. Like, you know, like he could tell Marco to do it, but Marco would have to go off his own assessment and then deliver that assessment to the president, say he's still doing this and this and that. Maybe you could fix that first. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think it's that easy. I don't think that's something that's done on a whim.
Yeah, but presidents have a lot of role in making different departments do things. Like presidents,
yes,
president could put, yeah. Like when president wants something, it has a huge influence. And isn't the State Department under the president? Anyways?
It is under the president, but once it's appointed and confirmed, there's a little bit of leeway. That's why sometimes
little bit of a leeway.
Little bit, but it's a little hard to fire people.
I mean, even branches of the government that are completely separate from the executive branch are, like, for example, presidents usually have a lot of influence on what passes in Congress or in Senate. So when you become a president, you have a lot of influence. You could make deals. You could push people. You have leverage. You could give them what they want so that they give you what they want. So it's like there's a lot of backdoor deals.
Look, like it's Marco. So like he just have to like kind of talk to him and convince him. It's like, hey, we gotta go with me on this, whatever. Like it's not a far away office. It's very close. I don't think Rubio would agree. Yeah. See?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like Rubio would say, okay, I'll do it, but he has to have this what do you call them? These parameters. He has to stand by these rules. And if he doesn't follow these rules, like you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, and I'll take you off. Sign it. Okay, you're not gonna. Okay, but if you do that, you're back on the list. Like maybe like that.
Okay, I have a question regarding the next video. Everybody, like in the chat, I saw so many people bring it up as well. So I'm gonna play it for you. Tell me what you think about this.
11 missile shot by the Islamic Republic of Japan. They were shot at the aircraft carrier over a period of about 1 hour.
The Islamic Republic of Japan. What do you think about this? So a lot of people, I mean, he misspoke, obviously, but this is going viral everywhere right now. He's saying the missiles were shot by the Islamic Republic of Japan.
11 missile shot by the Islamic Republic of Japan. They were shot at the aircraft.
Oh no!
1 hour.
There's
I
there's
mean,
Islamic Republic.
I
Yes.
wouldn't want an Islamic country with Gundams. That would be terrible. We don't want an Islamic evangelion. That would be so bad. No, I think he misspeaks. You misspeak. I misspeak. We all do it. And you know, I'm not as young as you are, but it's not even an age thing. It's just if you're talking for so many hours a day in front of so many people, it's gonna have it.
Yeah, but it's funny because from all the countries in the world, the one that the Islamic Republic would be the least, you know.
Oh,
like
they changed their whole government, had a snap election, getting rid of all their jihadists. Like they're like very much on the opposite side of this. It's just Japan, Iran, it all kind of rhymes.
Right. We need to. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of memes coming out of this Islamic Republic. Yeah, Japan fell overnight. Nani? Yes.
I think there's gonna be like some funny anime, versions of reality.
Yeah, we should make that. Yeah. Wait, we already played that one. Ooh, okay. We already played that one. Okay, I want to do Spain. Spain here. Okay, so we didn't like the way Giuliani was treated, or Israel, or Erdogan, but we do like how Spain's government is being treated. So let's bring that up. The way President Trump is attacking Spain's government is pretty good. Let me see. I'm gonna bring. Okay, here. This is good. Let's go to here. It's pretty aggressively went after Spain's government.
I didn't speak to Spain. Spain is a wasted cause. We don't want to do any trade business with Spain anymore, by the way. I'd like you to cut it off. Spain is a terrible partner in NATO. They don't participate. They don't pay. I don't want anything to do with Spain. Cut off all trade with Spain, please, including visits. Okay, we don't want anything to do. Watch them come running back. Oh, they'll come running back. They treat this man terribly, and this man's a good man too, great man. They're lucky they have him. But Spain doesn't agree to anything, and you shouldn't carry him. I mean, you sort of automatically carry because you're protecting an area, so they're there. So they probably figured they have to protect us, right? But we don't have to. We don't have to trade with them. I don't want to do any more trade with them. All right? Take it immediately. You don't even talk to them. They're hopeless. Bad people because, they have everybody else going and paying and working in Spain. In particular, Spain. There are a couple of others, but in particular, Spain. They're open about it. They're hostile about it. And let's see how hostile they remain when they call up and they, please, we want to trade with you, sir. We want to trade with you, sir. They make so much money with us, and we're going to see that they make a lot less. I want no business with them.
What do you think? That was pretty aggressive. That was
pretty aggressive. But I do know why he likes this guy specifically, because this is the guy that called him daddy, and that went over very well. It was very funny. I think it's this guy.
So for people who don't know, this is the head of NATO, and President Trump actually gets along very well with the head of NATO. Even as much as he's spoken against NATO, he does like the head of NATO. But what do you think about his comments on Spain?
Well, Spain kind of sucks. Like as a government, like the people, fine people. As a government, not only does it suck, it's very corrupt. Like there's been a lot of investigations into influence operation, money for influence operation, contracting. There's a lot of investigations. Actually, Jose is a person that's very much on the ball about this. And he has shown me a bunch of the investigations that are going into the government of Spain. And the way they do it over there, it's like the judge is the one that's going to say, yeah, this investigation is going forward. Like it's not a grand jury. It's no. The judge says, yeah, we got enough to prosecute you. Bam, bangs the gavel, and investigation goes forward. So there's a lot of funny, fishy stuff with the Spanish government. And as much as they virtue signal about how much they love immigrants and they love this and they love that, they're just, getting paid, apparently. So I understand that there is a lot of corruption there, and cutting off all deals makes everybody look into the government very closely. I would cut off all trade. I would tariff them. I would not tariff. I would, what's the sanction? Like, I would put them under U.S. sanctions. Like, we're not dealing with you, and we may even have trouble if other people deal with you. We might like just go all out. And I support going all out just to make an example out of them. For everyone in NATO, oh, you want to see what can happen? Hit Spain so hard that that no one else wants to do what they did. That's what I would do. I would use them as an example.
Yeah. And again, no offense to the Spanish people, especially the patriotic, anti-Jew hatred, pro-Israeli, anti-mass migration people, anti-Islamization of Europe, people of Spain, the ones like that. Okay, so no offense to all of you, the especially the anti-communists in Spain. We see you, we appreciate you. This is not against you. This is against your commie government, right? That's what it is.
This kind of thing could bring down that administration and bring up a better one. So like it could be a momentary shock that leads to a better future in the long term. So that is another reason why we would want this.
Right. Oh, we got a super chat from Shauna. Thank you, Shauna, saying the head of NATO is the only one sane enough to see why pissing off America is a bad idea for Europe. He seemingly understands American rage. He also appreciates America as the reason why we have NATO. Like, he understands that NATO is nothing without the United States. He completely understands that. And I think President Trump likes the fact, the issue with NATO is not the many of the member countries, not that the deal makes sense, the whole arrangement makes sense, but a lot of the frustration we have with NATO is because of the head of government of a lot of the member countries. That's the issue. Like, for example, Spain.
Look, another thing is that they act like children. I think that's the reason why this man has made the comments he's made. Sometimes these nations are acting like children when they're in power, and they maybe do it for virtue signal reasons, but they're doing things that make no logical sense. They have rhetoric that they can't back up. That's why he's the one that has to bring them down to earth. It's like, no, we need the U.S. to work with us in NATO. We need to up our payments into this defense. And I think he's just more realistic. He's more mature about it.
Right. And oh, thank you, Amir, saying, Armin, you were on Haviv. Yes, I was. Make sure you guys go watch it. It's this one over here. Thank you, Amir, for.
I think you should probably drop the link in again for people so they can put it on the side tab.
Okay, guys, I was on the channel Ask Haviv Anything, and I was on the show. I think it was one of my best interviews. So I'll put the link in the chat. Go watch it. It's really good. Let me see. The title is Iran is closer to freedom than you think with Armin Navabi. So yeah, just go watch that. It was really good. I think I enjoyed it. It was really fun. Yeah, Amir saying, I didn't know I like Haviv stuff. Yeah, go watch it. I think I did very well. Let me know if you think I did well after you watch it. Mikey thinks I did well, so there's good.
Yes,
amazing interview, man. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys saying that. Okay, so let's go to BB June. Okay, this is what I like showing. Okay, so I think I haven't seen BB say. I haven't seen any bad takes from BB. Like, yeah, Marco Rubio. I haven't seen bad takes. Netanyahu, I haven't seen bad takes. I mean, I'm sure there are. Like, no one's perfect, but I just haven't seen many. Shana, thank you so much for the super chat saying the Spanish went to South America. Oh, what? The best Spanish went to South America on apologetic hemisphere supremacist. Oh,
Yeah, I
you're
think
an
she means
unapologetic
Spaniards.
hemisphere supremacist. Yes. Okay. No. Yeah. Okay. So I do not support this. I love the Spanish people. I'm against your government, but Spanish people of Spain and Europe, we love you. We appreciate you. Shana is self-admittedly a supremacist of her own hemisphere. I do not endorse this. I do not agree with this. She's a Western Hemisphere supremacist. So yes, we condemn the supremacy.
I think she means like Spaniards, like Spanish is just language, Spaniards. And I don't mean to nitpick. I know Sean has very good intentions here. I think that what's happening in
No
South
goodness.
America is very interesting because all these Latin countries, Spanish speakers, are turning to the right more and more. As soon as you got rid of US aid, oh my God, everybody's doing this America's Shield. I think we're turning things around. I think it's a good thing.
Western people are making a gang now, Western Hemisphere gang. Oh my God.
Yeah, the Don Road Doctrine is getting popular.
The Don Road.
Banding together.
Okay. Okay, let's see what BB is saying here. Hold on.
Some American Jews in Congress who support Israel and support what you just said say that a lot of the actions by you and your government are making Jews in the United States unsafe. Congresswoman Haley Stevens, she's running for Senate in Michigan, said Benjamin Netanyahu has made us less safe. He has frankly put Jews in an uncomfortable position across the country. Have you?
Well, it's made her uncomfortable because she can't stand up for the truth. She's trying to probably excuse anti-Semitism.
She's not. I just want to explain. She's somebody who supports Israel. She supports funding Israel, which is diminishing big time among Democrats and even some Republicans in the United States Congress.
Okay, so that was not a good comeback from BB. I don't like that. I love BB. I usually don't see bad responses from him. But when somebody is criticizing you, immediately going to anti-Semitism is not the right way to respond to people.
There is two words that Americans, especially since 2016, are kind of like reticent, like they don't like it: anti-Semitism and Nazis. As soon as you use the word Nazis, you're bringing it back to World War II. You're making it about anti-Semitism. It's like, no, like make a better argument. Like I would say that I love Israel. I think they do great things for us. I think we just give them a little discount. We went over this yesterday. The amount of funding that's going into lobby is basically minuscule compared to other nations and influence operations. But this is not a good comeback. Like I wish Charlie Kirk was right in telling them, hey, you guys need to up your online game. You guys need to up your rhetoric. Charlie Kirk was very much supportive of BB, trying to talk to them about, why do I have to defend you? You guys need to be good at this debate game. And sometimes he's not that great at it. He has like these old classics that don't play well right now.
Yeah, he does. Usually he does great, but he should stop with the anti-Semitism thing and just focus on there's so many good arguments to defend Israel and defend BB and what he has done. This ain't it. Especially with the person that they're talking to, like the person they're talking about has been fighting anti-Semitic. I like to call it Jew hatred. So this is. This was one of the.
I'd like to know what actions they're talking about. What did he say that makes I don't understand the context here. It's like that his statements made it unsafe for Jews. What were BBC statements that they?
So I don't. Yeah. So I'm sure. Whatever she said is wrong, right? And I think I'm pretty sure she's saying what BB is doing is making it difficult. To fight against anti-Semitism or whatever. I could. There's so many better responses. Again, I don't know what she said, but I know this ain't the response. But again, I don't want to go. She's not that important right now for us to go dig out what she said, but because we have other things. But let's see the second BB video. I think this hopefully is better. Because I do like BB, I know some. It's interesting because the people who disagree with me the most when I say I like BB are Israelis. Okay, but let's see if he says here. But
He said
guys, you can
that
see I'm
too.
being fair. Right? Yeah, but you guys can see I'm trying to be fair though. Right? Even though I like Bibi, I like Netanyahu. When I think he said something that is not that good, I'll tell you. Right? I'm trying to be, unbiased as much as possible here. Yeah.
The question remains, at the end of the negotiations, if there's a deal struck, then you have to see, does the deal actually meet the main goals? The most important one being ending Iran's nuclear program, taking out the enriched material, dismantling the enrichment sites. And there are other things that have to do with proxy warfare and ballistic missiles. If it achieves that, then yes, Iran will get sanctions relief, and that would help the regime resuscitate itself. But I don't see that happening yet. And I hope that the question remains.
So I think Bibi knows that if we ever get to a deal like that, then the Islamic Republic will not be able to survive submitting that much to the Americans. And that's why he's okay with it, because that's not a peace deal, that's a surrender deal. That's why.
Yeah, that's basically if the IRGC dies and there's another regime in power and all the IRGC is dead, and when we're dealing with Iran, we're basically talking to Pahlavi and their a government in newly in power about to do a new election or whatever. When we're dealing with those guys, yeah, sure. But if we're talking about the IRGC saying that these things will happen, it's like, okay, if pigs fly, like that's the only way the IRGC would agree to that.
Exactly. If pigs fly. Okay, so now Netanyahu here is talking about Mamdani. Let's see what he says here. Let's see if we agree with this.
Israel or Saudi Arabia or anywhere else. And a lot of that comes back to a fundamental belief that we should all be considered equal no matter what our faith is.
Your response?
Well, he conveniently forgets that the only democracy in the Middle East is Israel. 20% of our citizens are, in fact, Muslims. They're not Arabs, but they sit on the Supreme Court. They're in the Knesset, our parliament. They share every walk of life. That's the only place in the Middle East where you actually have this equality that he's talking about. But he has supported, or his supporters have supported Hamas, these people who murder people, who beheaded our men, who raped our women, and then murdered them, burned babies alive, and so on. He said, the river to the sea, he supports them. This is not mere cynicism. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's
Israel or...
Yeah, I know specifically one. Like, I know one of his supporters who loves Hamas, is always simping for Hamas, makes a lot of shows supporting Mandami. That's Hassan Piker. Like, that's one of the most prominent ones. He's everywhere. We all know that Mandami's people love Hamas. Like, this isn't a secret, right? So he can have that face that's, oh, I'm going to go out here and fool them, right? Meanwhile, you in the streets keep supporting, keep ramping up the rhetoric against Jewish people, right? You guys can do that in the street, but when I go into the interview, I'm gonna make it look like everything's cool, everything's copacetic. We love everybody. I think this is Mandami has like the silk glove over the iron fist, and the iron fist is that people that he supports, those protests that happen all over New York, pro-Hamas, anti-Jewish people, all these attacks on synagogues. Like, we know the reality of what's going on in New York, no matter what rhetoric Mandami has. We know who supports Mandami, even though he has this silk glove touch when an interview. We know the iron fist that's in that glove, and it's not good for Jews in New York. So I understand what Bibi's talking about. I specifically know one of the people that supports him that is just a horrible human being when it comes to this kind of thing and other things. Shocks dogs, very bad. So I think I know what Bibi's talking about here.
Do you know much about Mamdani's wife supporting Hamas as well? Do you have information on that? Because his wife also supported.
That's a good point. I don't know how prominent she is online.
I'll be right back.
Yes.
I'll be right back. You talk about this. No. Do you know more about it? Because I'm going to use the washroom. Be right back. Can you?
Not specifically her, but I know a lot of the people around Mandami that are anti-Israel, pro-Hamas. The people he supported in the DSA.
Okay, so let me tell you this because I know about this. Let me, guys in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Mamdani's wife liked posts on social media celebrating something like, was it October 7th? Something like that. Right? I
No,
think so.
probably.
Yeah. Anyways, that's the kind of person that Mamdani sees fit to stay married to.
Terrible. Very
Uh,
terrible.
Yeah. Yes, people are saying yeah. Okay. So celebrating October 7th, those are the posters she liked. That's crazy. Yes, people are saying yes.
Yeah. It's a horrible thing.
Yeah. Did anybody ask Mamdani about that? By the way, I know that people are like, oh, what is Mamdani supposed to do? Like, she's her own adult, she's an adult woman, she could make decisions on herself. Here's what you could do: you could divorce somebody that supports genocide. That's what you could do. Obviously, I don't mean that the husband, you should control your wife, but the fact that you think that she's still worthy of being your wife is insane. Like, she's supporting genocide. Okay, this is Marandi Charandi. You know this, right?
I think I've seen him before. If I remember correctly, this guy is a very very good speaker on many issues.
Yeah, this guy does Islamic Republic propaganda in English the best. Like, he's the expert at it.
Oh, I'm confusing him with someone else then, because I don't really know this guy then. I'm mixing him up. I remember him. I remember him. I see he's also like on RIGC TV or that kind of thing.
Yes, he's the one
he
that
goes
gets
on
invited
CNN
on
too?
Piers Morgan. Yeah, Piers Morgan a lot.
Okay. I know the scumbag.
Okay, guys, I see the super chats. I will get to your super chats soon, but let me just play this.
And then, of course, we have today the ongoing funeral, which we saw yesterday too, that well over 10 million people attended yesterday, the largest funeral in human history, which is ongoing today in the city of Qom. You have a couple of million people there. It shows the high degree of popular legitimacy of the Islamic Republic. No one can deny it anymore. But for the first time, this crowd, for the first time, is being somewhat acknowledged in the West for what it really is and what it means. And I would claim that Iran has much more popular legitimacy than Western regimes do. And these are the evidence is in front of us. In the heat of summer, at a time when the country has been under economic siege for decades, it has just gone through 2 wars of aggression, and then of course.
Okay, what do you think about this? I'll be right back. You talk. I'll be right back. Monkey?
Okay, so what this guy is doing, he's mixing up 2 different events. Now, the one that was a big funeral was that Khomeini. That guy had a big funeral. This funeral, it was terrible. This funeral, nobody wanted to go. They couldn't organize people fast enough. People would get stuck on the route because they couldn't get there. They had to have poster signs and stuff blocking the cameras from showing how empty it was. You had to gather them all inside. Wouldn't take photos from the outside because there was no way it was 10 million. I think if I'm generous, I'll give them 100,000, and I think that's overly generous. Okay, that Khomeini, it's a different. That's the hoe that had a lot of people, go out there for him. They were ripping the casket open, pulling his clothes off, and ripping parts of it. It was pretty gross. It was absolutely gross. But that hoe, Khomeini, that hoe was the one that had a lot of support. This new one, no, not at all. People were not dying to see this little Tupperware container that had his remains. Like, what was left of the Tupperware Ayatollah, that little tiny thing of remains that they had in the back of the freezer and brought out for on tour, that thing was not as popular as the Khomeini. Khomeini was way more popular.
I love how you call it Khomeini. Can you say Khomeini? Is that something you could say? Like, are you able?
I can, but I like that Khomeini. You got to put that in there. That Khomeini.
I know. That is good. That is good. But I want to hear. I want to see if you can say Khomeini. Like if that's something that you.
Oh,
are,
I can, with the best of them, we got that phlegm. You know, I got the phlegm. I can phlegm like an. I can say how many. I can phlegm it up. I can even do the French one that they're you know how the French do it. Like, you know, I could do it. I don't know how to speak it, but I can phlegm it.
Do you want to see the second and third supreme leader at the same time in one frame? This
All
is
right.
the one we have. Okay, here. Anyways, they keep going around and
It's very beautiful, very creative, very honorable the way they respect the disrespectful, garbage people over here. Love it, celebrate it. Thank you, Texas.
look at the cardboard and the remaining of Ali Khomeini. Okay. People-
If they had a Tupperware container, like have one of them with Tupperware and meat, that one with the bones, like that's the hominy, right? Have another one with Tupperware, like you can see a Tupperware jar in there with meat, and then have this cardboard behind. You can have all three of them in a procession.
Okay, let's go back to this Charandi Merendi guy, Mohammed Merendi. He's now here making fun of Zionism. Let's hear this.
With regards to the Israeli regime, I think that Netanyahu has been the greatest atrophy that Zionism has ever experienced. He's destroyed the regime, its image across the world. It's seen by anyone who has any degree of knowledge about the region. It is seen as a genocidal regime. It is seen as the reason for this war that has caused a global economic downturn, and this is not over by any means. He needs perpetual war to stay in power, and all of this is causing huge tensions inside the regime, from what I've read, from my understanding. And of course, as we all know, the polls inside show that overwhelmingly, like roughly 90%, believe that the Israelis lost the war. And of course, Iran is much stronger today. With regards,
So how do you respond to that?
That guy had no pushback whatsoever, just letting this guy speak. I think the Afghans are famous for, maybe transporting a little opium. I think they brought him some copium, and he's very high on that copium. He's coping so hard. And this is just basically speaking it into existence. Like, oh my God, I'm going to manifest it. People. We're going to manifest these truths into existence because they're not true in reality. He's just lying.
Just making stuff up. By the way, like, who are these people who keep inviting this? This guy is like the main Islamic Republic propagandist. I don't know why he keeps getting invited.
People who hate America.
Yeah. Anyways, this I'm done. I had another video of him. I don't know if I want to watch that because it's just useless. He reveals the Iranian government respectfully removed the. Oh. No, never mind. It's not that good. Let me go to Nick Fuentes talking about Israel and Turkey and the F-35s. I'm actually curious to see what Fuentes on Turkey and Israel. What does he think about all of this? Because we need to be listening to our enemies and what their opinions are. Okay, so here. Let's play this one.
Israel has a fear that Turkey longs to encircle Israel by increasing its influence in the Levant. that they have these ambitions to rebuild the Ottoman Empire. And so they want to expand into the south, maybe into the Arabian Peninsula. And if they do this, then they have this strategic encirclement of Israel, and they become a rival quite like Iran. And Turkey, like Iran, like Egypt, has a long history, has a common culture and language, massive population and middle-class experts, major army, million-man army and military-industrial complex. If Turkey sours on Israel, they represent a true strategic threat, and they would become a real rival. So it's the souring of that relationship since October 7th, but also this competition inside of Syria. It's becoming now something like a cold proxy war between Ankara and Tel Aviv inside of Syria to compete for influence there that has soured Israel on Turkey. And so now, in order to put pressure on Israel to end their campaign in Lebanon, the Trump administration is flirting with the idea of giving Turkey F-35s. Now, the sale of F-35s to Turkey is largely symbolic.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Who brokered the deal to bring Israel and Lebanon together? It was the U.S. It was the Trump administration that brought them together. So for him to say that the Trump administration is doing this to push them out is ridiculous. It's the Trump administration that brought Lebanon and Israel together. They signed a deal together. This is just a lie. He's just lying to parts of his audience or all of his audience that don't know that the people who made them come together, made them sign together, was United States. It was the United States. Marco Rubio. It was I think it was CENTCOM, the admiral there. I can't remember exactly who was there, but if we're going to be absolutely real about what's happening, it's not the Trump administration that's pushing them apart. It's the Trump administration that's bringing Israel and Lebanon together. So he's just flat out lying.
Good point. Here.
Give them 5 fighter jets. And there are a lot of problems with this, which is one, in order for Turkey to even have and operate the F-35s, they really need integration with the U.S. military-industrial complex. There's an industrial component to this as well. So it's not as simple as they just get the F-35s. They also need some industrial capacity for parts and maintenance and other things. What's more, for us to actually deliver the F-35s is going to take years. They're only getting 5. If they wanted the F-35s to be a part of Turkey's arsenal, Turkey's going to need to update and modernize their entire Air Force. So this is something that's very complicated and complex, going to take a long time to fully implement. And then the other problem is that this is going to have to go through Congress. Turkey's going to have to give up the S-400 air defense system. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with that. And it also is going to have to go through Congress.
This is why he's
the president
dangerous.
Can give a waiver to.
This is why he's dangerous, because he slipped in one lie and then sandwich it between stuff that's true. Yes, it does have to go to Congress. Yes, Turkey is a regional power. He slipped in one lie that is a very important distinction, that he's trying to say that Trump is against Israel being in Lebanon, trying to push them out. That one lie makes a lot of presuppositions around it. But because he stuck one lie in between two truths, he made a sandwich out of it. You might dismiss it as, oh, maybe he didn't know, or maybe this, or maybe that. He absolutely knows what he's doing. And this is what makes him far more dangerous than Candace.
Good point.
Turkey to have the F-35s, but there's also a law in the federal statute preventing Turkey from getting it. So the U.S. Senate might block Turkey's acquisition of F-35s, even if the president authorizes it and gives a waiver. So is this meaningfully going to change anything? Not necessarily. But the problem that this poses to Israel is that the U.S. and Israel have always had this special relationship, as everybody knows. And the reason that Israel has a military advantage over its neighbors is because this is actually enshrined in federal law in the United States. There's a federal statute in America that says that when we sell military technology to countries in the Middle East, we can't do it in such a way that it gives those countries a military edge over Israel. The terminology that's used is qualitative military edge. And it is a legally binding mandate that whatever we give to Israel and whatever we give to any and every other country, we must ensure that Israel maintains the qualitative military edge over that country.
Based?
So, for example, we were...
Yeah, that makes it. I mean, that's a pretty good law.
Based? Yeah,
Based,
sure.
Yeah.
giving F-35s. I think it was to the Emirates or Saudi Arabia recently. But we couldn't give them as many as we wanted to because we had to make sure that Israel always has more than that other country, because it is mandated that we got to protect Israel's military.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, dude, because it's your main ally. Everybody else there is dangerous.
I mean, he's giving me a dirty look. He's giving me a dirty look. He's smirking like, "Oh my God, it's such a bad." No, yeah, sure. This is good. I love it. Yeah, damn straight, as it should be. Exactly.
As it should be. Exactly.
Who has a track record with us? Who has a track record of helping us with our commerce? Who has a track record of helping us with our intelligence? Who has a track record? Oh, well, it's Israel. Well, of course, we're not going to stab them in the back. That should be in trial law. Yeah, based. Sure. Thank you for whoever wrote that law.
Yeah, Texas troops in because they fight terrorists that want to kill us. Exactly. Perfect.
That's a great reason. That's a great reason.
Great reason. Yeah.
Because it is mandated that we got to protect Israel's military edge. It's not enough that Israel has a nuclear arsenal of 300 warheads. It's not enough that they...
Yeah, nuclear arsenal is not going to go kill terrorists. What do you want Israel to do? To go nuke a city because they had some terrorist attacks? So, yeah, that's not going to be good enough. Like, what do you want them to do?
So how long is it estimated that Israel has had nuclear weapons and not used it, exercising great self-control? It's been a while, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if the others would control themselves, especially Iran. I think the second they get a couple, they're lobbying.
Than that other country, because it is mandated that we got to protect Israel's military edge. It's not enough that Israel has a nuclear arsenal of 300 warheads.
That's not
it's
enough.
not enough that they have intelligence sharing and close coordination with the Pentagon.
Yeah, he's saying it like we don't benefit. Wait a minute. He's saying it like we don't benefit from that intelligence. Yes, we have intelligence sharing, and thank you for the intelligence.
Yeah, you're saying that as if it's a bad thing. I mean, when it comes to intelligence sharing, it's the United States that is getting more intelligence here because Israel is in there. He says intelligence sharing as if it's one way, like United States is giving intelligence to Israel. Do you know how much richer United States intelligence is because of what they receive from Israel? Did you know that? Do you know that nobody could compete with Mossad when it comes to gathering intelligence from around that region?
They have the best and most sophisticated equipment from a technological point of view, and that they have more of it. That they have more of it or enough of it that's sufficient that they will have the edge over the Emirates or Saudi Arabia or Qatar. And so the idea that we would give Turkey F-35s, what it represents is that we might try to balance things out in the Middle East. Maybe it's good for the United States to give Turkey relatively more power against Israel.
Yeah. How about we keep everything balanced? How about we also just go directly support Hamas and Hezbollah to keep things balanced? I don't know,
No, I think look, this is the second line. This is the second line. Because like as I see it, right, the purpose is not to have a Turkey fight Israel. The purpose is that Turkey doesn't like Iran. That's more like Turkey, no, especially Syria. But Turkey and Iran, I don't think they like each other that much. I don't think they trust each other. They might have a working together relationship because they hate Israel, and I could be wrong about this. But I don't think that Turkey trusts Iran or anyone, and I don't think I think this is clearly United States is supporting Israel being in Lebanon, which is why they made a deal together. Tell me what you think about the Turkey situation. Do you think Turkey loves Iran?
Turkey, no, Turkey is against. Well, I mean, I think you mean the Islamic Republic, but either way is correct.
Yes. My
Turkey-
apologies. The Islamic Republic.
So-
IRGC.
So Erdogan hates the Islamic Republic, but also hates Iran as a whole as well.
Which is why he, supported and promoted October 7, Hamas, Hezbollah, these types of people.
Well, that's because he hates Israel.
Yes, because of the Israel hate, but there's no love for IRGC in his heart.
He's both anti-Israeli and anti-IRGC and anti-Iranian people and anti-Israeli people at the same time. He's anti all of them. He's for Ottoman Empire. That's what he wants. He wants to bring out the Ottoman Empire back.
So he's Putin. He's like Putin. Putin wants the Soviet Empire. This guy wants the Ottoman Empire. This is
the Ottoman Empire.
No wonder they like each other. It makes a lot of sense now.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, but I think the main point, I forgot what the main point is. What was he talking about? Oh, okay. So, but the main point I want to make is that the example, like suggesting that arming Turkey is a good way to balance the reliance on, to balance things out in the Middle East. You know what it's like? Imagine if you're doing a drug bust and there's some criminals basically preparing their, making drugs in a basement somewhere, and the police shows up with all their gun and they surrounded the house and they say, come up with your arms out and everything, with your hands out and everything. And somebody comes and says, like, you know what, this is not balanced. Okay, why the amount of guns that the cops have is way more than the guns than the criminals have. We need to balance this out. We need to also give them more guns. This is what I think is happening.
May I add to the analogy? I'd say it's like the cops are trying to, they're having to deal with a gang war. So what they're going to do is they're going to arm the other gang, so both gangs have as many guns as the cops. That's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, it never worked. Using Islamic groups to fight other Islamic, like right now we're looking at like, okay, let's support Turkey maybe against the Islamic Republic, maybe, like that's the whole point. Or let's support Jolani against Hezbollah, right? You tried this with the Mujahideen in Afghanistan, it ended up creating 9/11, right? 9/11 is the result of supporting the Mujahideen. You used the Mujahideen against the Soviet Union, you got 9/11, okay? You did this, what else did you do this? So we have this experience. United States made this mistake. Our Shah made this mistake. Israel made this mistake. Okay, so our Shah in Iran was basically using the mullahs against the communists. It backfired, right? So United States is backfired. The Shah of Iran did this, backfired. Israel did this, it backfired, right? Israel, Hamas came from an Islamic group that Israel supported against the PLO. That's what created Hamas. That's eventually what turned into Hamas.
Oh, there's PLO, Fatah. I don't remember the names. I know there's been a lot of problems.
Arab pan-Arabist, socialist, secularist, pan-racist, pan-Arabist, anti-Jew, anti-Israeli people. Okay, so they were not Islamic. They were more about being Arab supremacists that rather than being Islamic, and they were socialists, right? And they were basically a secular terrorist group against somewhat secular terrorist group against Israel. This predates, Hamas and Hezbollah and stuff like that. So Israel was dealing with pan-Arabists before it dealt with pan-Islamists, right? Those were the Palestinian cause didn't start with all of the Islamic movement. It started with the socialist pan-Arabist movement. Okay. And Israel, when fighting against those, so it's interesting because the Americans were using the Muslims against communists and it backfired. The Shah was using the Muslims against communists and it's backfired. And the Israelis were using the Muslims against the socialists and it backfired. So the lesson you learn here is it might seem like a good idea at the time to use these jihadi Muslims against your more immediate enemy, but it will always backfire. Okay, so now when we're trying to support Jolani or we're trying to support Erdogan against other enemies of the United States, just remember that every time this was tried, it backfired.
The only thing these kind of Islamists are good at is killing Muslims and anyone else that happens to be there. Every time they wreak havoc and just go on murder sprees on each other. Like we know that we're trying to, like, we don't want Christians killed by these Islamists. We don't want Jews killed by these Islamists. But if we're really gonna take a hard look at history, they kill more Muslims than anything else ever. Like, these people are a blight on their own.
Yeah, we don't want them to kill civilian Muslims either, right? But if they kill if jihadis are killing jihadis, that's a good thing. Let them do that, but don't support them just let them do it naturally. Don't support any side. You know what I mean? I think
the Hamas was killing a lot of people in Gaza that were against Hamas. Like, I saw some videos on that. I can't fully confirm it, but it's widely known that there are protests against Hamas. And I'm not saying that the people protesting love Israelis. I sincerely doubt that. But, like, you got to understand that jihadists are always a blight on any civil society, on civilians, on non-combatants.
Right. Okay. We should go to. Okay, so do you know Nick Fuentes has been supporting Muslims for a while right now? You know that? Did you know that?
I think so, yes.
Oh, wait, before we do that, let me actually read some super chats before we go to that. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the delay. I almost forgot. Amir the Cricket, thank you so much for the super chat, saying maybe put a banner above you if I talk against any country, I mean government. I love the people everywhere, since it's always the case.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I get what he means.
Yes. Just a constant banner above me? No. Yeah, that was good. Maybe we should make that. Yeah. Thank you, Amir. Yeah, maybe we should do that. Maybe I should have a flag and I'll just wave it around every time that happens. And then we have push-ups. Thank you, push-ups, for the super chat, saying, who the F says, wait, how do you say this? Read the super chat.
Who the fuck that says vosotros anymore? Okay, vosotros. Okay, so let me explain. That's like saying thou. Wherefore art thou, Romeo? Thou instead of you. Thou.
Oh, okay.
It's the Spanish equivalent. And it is used, but it's mostly used by Spaniards, people from Spain. They still kind of use it, but it is funny specifically to me because I know the language. But it's like saying, who still says thou? Basically,
Okay.
he's basically making fun of Spanish government and those people.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're here because I would have no idea what this is about. So thank you, Monkey. And then BT June saying, admitting that push-ups had a really good joke. Okay,
He did. I get that one. That was a deep cut, but yeah.
Wow. Is this a peace act? Is this a ceasefire agreement? Is this an MOU? Is this an MOU between BT June and push-ups? Okay. A fiery ceasefire or a real ceasefire? Well, thank you.
It may turn into a joke war. They try to up each other with jokes. We don't know where this is going.
Okay. Well, I don't like it because I don't get any of their jokes, especially BT June. Every time she's making a joke, I'm like, what is happening?
I'll try to translate if I can.
Yes, you know what? Every time BT June makes a joke, you're the one who reads it. Okay, I'm not going to read them. Okay. Okay, so we were saying, Nick Fuentes has been allying with Muslims against Israel for a while now, right? Right. So
I mean, it's classic. If you who it's like they hate one particular thing, right? So they're gonna come together.
Yeah, so it's over. The honeymoon is over. They're having a divorce. So I have a few clips to go over for you to see. Look at this.
What do you think is the most symbolic delegation at Khamenei funeral? And what is the message sent by the Saudis for being there?
The most symbolic delegation, it's all bullshit, dude. You know, look, can these Muslims just win the war already? It's always this nonsense like, you ever notice with the Muslims, they're like, good.
Look, can these Muslims just win the war? So if you guys don't have the context, Nick Fuentes has been praising the Islamic Republic and been wishing them success over Israel, right? That's the context. But now he's tired of their inability to properly, you know, attack Israel, right?
It's all bullshit, dude. You know, look, can these Muslims just win the war already? It's always this nonsense like, you ever notice with the Muslims, they're like, goodness gracious, they just raised a red flag of revenge. Oh boy, Israel's fucked now. It's like, I don't know, why don't you send 1,000 ballistic missiles at them instead? You know, like they go. There'll be an update from like Middle East Observer. They're like, holy fuck. Did you see what just happened? Iran just raised a red flag of revenge.
I love seeing this because he used to make so many shows about how weak Israel is and how, you know, how Israel is being devastated by the Islamic Republic. He probably was being influenced by all the propaganda of the Islamic Republic, and he was making show after show after show to say how powerful the Islamic Republic is. And now even he is realizing that it was all just lies. He fell for the lies of the propaganda of the Islamic Republic. And now that he's realizing that it was all just joke and they're not actually capable of doing that, he's too much of a coward to admit to he was wrong. But at least he's like, look at this.
Oh boy, Israel's gonna pay. And you go, you know what? On second thought, I think I'd prefer if they launched a salvo of 1,000 ballistic missiles at the same time at Tel Aviv. I think that would do a little bit more damage, to tell you the truth.
Look, he wishes, like he's saying, I wish that they would, you know.
No, well, he's basically realizing
ballistic, but he's saying, like, he's openly saying that he wishes the Islamic Republic would rain 1,000 ballistic missiles on Tel Aviv. He's saying that, but yeah, go on.
He's basically admitting he was full of shit when he said how powerful they were. Now he's saying, oh, your little flag. Why don't you just fucking lob some missiles instead of having some little flag? But you can't because you're actually weak. And every time I said that you were strong, Iran, I was wrong. I was falling for some AI videos made in the third world. So that's do you know? I think I've said this before. But you some people, there's always someone new in the chat. There's always someone new to the show. So I'll say it again. When Elon Musk took these accounts and made it available so you could see where everyone is from, a lot of people claiming to be MAGA that follow Nick Fuentes turned out to be a whole bunch of bot farms based out of India, Pakistan, like his following. There's a lot of astroturfing here. There's a lot of fake MAGA in his roster of followers. So you got to be very careful when you look at all these isolationist, the isolationist right that we would call the ISO cucks. You got to be very careful that you think you're in a crowd of your neighbors and you're on another continent. Like these people are nowhere near you, have nowhere near the same interests.
Exactly.
They're always doing stuff like that. They're like, oh boy, the Ayatollah went to Qom. The Ayatollah, for fuck's sake. Oh my gosh, Bismillah. The Ayatollah just went to Qom in a rare visit to one of the holy sites. Oh man, the Israelis are really going to have it. They just declared True Promise 11. They just declared True Promise 12, Too Fast, Too Furious, and they raised the red flag of revenge. It's like, okay, less of that, more missiles, please. Less of that, more ballistic missiles in one go at Israel. What is the most symbolic delegation? It's like their top guy gets murdered like a dog. And they're like, yeah, well, just wait until you see who goes to the funeral and what verse we play when they show up. You just fucking wait. Yeah, okay. The Israelis may have nuclear bombs. The Americans have aircraft carriers. Maybe we're outgunned and outmanned. But just wait until you see who shows up to the funeral and what verse of the Quran we play when they walk across the stage. Everyone's going to catch the double entendre. Everyone's going to catch the metaphor. Did you see that? That's literally, they're like so the Saudis, the Turks, the Yemenis, the Qataris.
Yeah, so he's very true. This is very true because when people from different countries were passing by, they were playing a part of the Quran that was attacking those specific people based on who was there, right? And I love that he's saying this because a lot of Islamic Republic fans were following him because they enjoyed him praising the Islamic Republic and their strength against Israel. And now all of those people who had followed him from the Islamic Republic are now seeing he's humiliating them, saying like, "Oh my God, wow, really? That's the best you could do? Play like aggressive verses at them?"
Okay, let me ask you a question about this. Does this play into the division?
Yes, yeah, it does. Because
so he's trolling. He's trolling hard. That's what I'm getting from this. But this is troll ammunition. Like, he's not doing it on purpose. Obviously, he's not a good actor here. But I believe that this is good trolling because I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't like you, but I get broken clock twice. Right twice a day.
Yeah, he realized how. I mean, he should be realizing how big of a fool he was to even believe the Islamic Republic had any ability. But it's good that he's saying this.
Goes up to the funeral, and what verse of the Quran we play when they walk across the stage? Everyone's going to catch the double entendre. Everyone's going to catch the metaphor. Did you see that? That's literally, they're like so the Saudis, the Turks, the Yemenis, the Qataris, Emiratis, they all were in attendance. And they all walked across the stage and they played like a verse of the Quran for each of them that was supposed to have like this deep meaning. For the delegation from Hamas, they played some verse about how the martyrs will be rewarded. There'll be more martyrs. And for the Saudis, they played a verse about how, some of the Muslims were faithful and some of them weren't. And it's like, dude, just yeah. More missiles, more drones. Make a nuke already. Do something. Yeah. Make a nuke, please. Just put the nuclear bombs in the bag, please. So who gives a shit? What was the most symbolic delegation at the Khamenei funeral? Honestly, what was the message sent by the Saudis being there? Who knows? Who cares?
The Octagon enthusiast.
They're all treacherous. It's all bullshit. They don't mean anything they say. They're all treacherous. They're all backstabbing each other. The Saudis are letting the Americans use their land to launch attacks against Iran, and then they go to the funeral.
I love how frustrated he is that all the enemies of Israel are weak. I'm enjoying that frustration. But look, he just wants the Islamic Republic to have a nuke so it could use against Israel.
Well, yeah. I'm just loving all the ammunition he's giving for division in Iran because there's a lot of people like in the IRGC supporting fan base that are going to be like, yeah, what the hell is this? We're doing gossip about which verse is being played. Like if you want to feed into some division, fine. I don't support this guy. I think he's anti-America. Like he wants like American socialism with redistribution of Jew property instead of redistribution of white property. Same thing, same coin, different side. Same dog, different collar.
Yeah. So look at this. He's really frustrated with Muslims because he used to say that Muslims and Christians, should ally with each other against the Jews. But now he's giving up on that. He's realizing how pathetically untrustworthy and unreliable Muslims, the Muslims, anti-Israeli Muslims are. And look at this.
Can I just be honest for a second? The switch up on the third world feels so good. It feels so good to switch up on the third world because this arc that we were on, where it was like free Palestine and all eyes on Rafah, raise up your sticks for Yahya Sinwar. That was really gay. That was just like the gayest bullshit. And we sort of tolerated it because it was red pilling the masses about Israel. It was red pilling your lib shit, liberal friends that Israel controls the country. It was obviously moving the ball down the field. But that whole third world arc we were on where we had to tolerate the endless bitching and crying about colonialism and genocide. Raise up your sticks for Yahya Sinwar. That sucked so hard. And I'm so glad we finally got to switch up on him and say, you know what? You got to go too. If the Zionists, if Randy Fine and Laura Loomer are going back, you're fucking going back too. Hassan Piker, Zoran Mamdani, Sneeko, Mehdi Hassan, you're all going back. We need all of you to get the fuck out of America and Europe, and it feels so good. And they go, wait a minute, you can't just switch up. You can't just switch up. What about this? What about that? Oh, are you telling me that we cynically took advantage of the situation to press our own issue? Yeah, absolutely we did. It's called taking your own side.
That's lying. You fell for it, and now you're making excuses. You were you're making excuses. You fell for it. And I love seeing this. I love seeing division among our enemies, right? So we have the red, green, brown alliance. When these people fight against each other, that's good for us, because the more united they are, the worse it is for us. So when they turn against each other, that's good. And I think he's not being honest here. He's not
It's
being honest.
revisionist coping.
Yeah, this is exactly. That's a good word for it. This is revisionist coping.
Cynically took advantage of the situation to press our own issue. Yeah, absolutely we did. It's called taking your own side. It's called taking your own side. We're always raising up the banner for Christ. We're always raising up the banner for Europe, for America, for Western civilization. Don't kid yourself. They said, what about our Muslim-Christian alliance? We switched up. It's called we switched up. We don't want you in our countries. What about the alliance? I thought we had something special. No, I'm sorry, Mohammed. I'm sorry, Mohammed Hijab, Mohammed Bismillah, whatever the fuck. No, we switched up. We take our own side now. You think we're going to be suckers for third worldists and leftists forever? Not going to happen. So it feels good.
Not forever, but you were for a while. You were for a while, huh? Like, he kind of admitted that at the end. Not forever, but for a while you got suckered. You may have some revisionist copium going on here, but yeah, he was suckered in. I think he sees where the wind is blowing. He knows that the Democrats are losing a lot of popularity. Like it's going this way. The people that are more influential in the media are going more far left, but there's less of them in the total population. Like the amount of people that want to go along with these extremist views on the left are less. He is seeing that, and then he is switching back to like to conservative. Like he's not. No, I'm not gonna support these people anymore because the wind of change, it blows the other way. I think he's part of the grift.
I think you're 100% right, and I also think he's seeing the drop in popularity of the Islamic resistance movement as well. He's noticing that as well, and I think that has a lot to do with the inability of the Islamic Republic to meaningfully respond to Israel and America. I think this is actually a good moment for me to explain this to you guys, because a lot of people might not know this, right? Many Muslims have put all their bags in the basket of the Islamic Republic, even if they were Sunni Shia, they didn't care, right? Because they were so disappointed with the rest of the Islamic leaders in the world when it comes to meaningfully standing up against Zionism. The entire propaganda of anti-Zionism relied on the Islamic Republic being successful. And Shias and Sunnis were praising this war, and everybody was buying into the propaganda of the Islamic Republic, thinking that this is going to be an epic war that is going to humiliate Israel and the United States. You had Mohammed Hijab, you had the other guy, I forgot, Ali Dawa, you had this guy Nick Fuentes, you had Sneeko. You had so many people coming out and saying, oh, you had that Harira Jew saying this, Israel is finished, it's over, they're so weak, the Islamic Republic is powerful, they're going to be able to do this. Look at these are the missiles they have, these are the capabilities they have. Israel will not be able to do anything about it. They had so many videos about that, back to back, praising the Islamic Republic. So all the propaganda and the hope for the resistance against Israel, Muslims around the world bought into the Islamic Republic being able to do so much. And then one by one, they came out and publicly admitted their disappointment. Like they weren't even hiding it. they were saying, why is Islamic Republic being this? Why are they being so pathetic? Why are they not doing that? So Daniel Hagaju came out and admitted that. Hijab came out and admitted that. Nick Fuentes is now admitting that. So that a lot of people need to understand that the inability of the Islamic Republic to meaningfully respond to Israel and the United States was not just a military failure, it was a huge fall in the soft power of the Islamic section of anti-Israeli, anti-Jew axis of resistance. Like, so much has been lost, not just in hard power, but also in soft power. And Nick Fuentes is seeing that unpopularity, that lack of popularity, and he wants a divorce. That's what's happening.
Look, I think you're absolutely right about this. It's an untenable position, basically.
Yes. Okay, let's do one more video from Nick. This one is about Jackson Hinkle. Remember, guys, Jackson Hinkle was in was in Iran defending the Islamic Republic. Maybe for people who haven't seen that, maybe let me just play that. So Jackson Hinkle is an American who went to the Islamic Republic saying death to America and supported the Islamic Republic.
Down with USA! Down with USA! Don't be USA. به زبان خودش بگید چه میکنه دست همه بالا موبایل همه روشن پیغام میدان انقلاب به دولت آمریکا وگرنه آمریکایی هم پیدا میشه که اینطوری آزاده باشه دست همه بالا ببینید خودش چجوری میگه شما جوابش بدید Down with USA! Down with USA! Down with USA! Down with Zionists! Down with Zionists! Down with USA! Down with Israel!
Okay, so this is the treason that he did.
What a
Jackson Hinkle was what a cook, exactly. So let's see. I'm interested. I don't know what he's going to say. Let's see what how Nick Fuentes is going to respond to that. He's obviously going to be against it though, because he wants to pretend that he's America first, right? So he has America first here. So his position is that you should be anti-Israeli, not anti-American, right? So that's his position. Let me see what he's saying.
You see Jackson Dinkle in Iran saying death to America. He should be drone striked by Trump for that. This guy grows up a privileged white kid in California. He starts LARPing as some kind of communist revolutionary. Now he's in Iran saying destroy America. I get it if the Iranians say it. And on some level, you can't even necessarily hold it against them.
Oh, yeah. What? That's actually more extreme than I thought. You can't even hold it against them. So you support the Islamic Republic being anti-American and saying death to America? Okay.
I can hold it against them, and I will. At least the IRGC.
That's crazy. Look at that face. He's saying that while he has an America First hat over there. Like, what the hell? You can't hold that against them? Unbelievable.
We're in a war with Iran. If you're in a war with the country and they say, hey, destroy our enemy, okay, well, we tried to destroy you. We killed your leader.
I mean, I don't see Americans going around and saying death to Iran. I don't think that's like normal behavior.
You were born in this country.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
To destroy you, we killed your leader. You were born in this country. You're a fifth generation American. This country gave you everything you have, all the opportunities, all the memories, all the love that made you what you are. You go to some other country, a country we're at war with, and you say, destroy America. He should be drone striked by Trump. He should never make it home. That should have been.
I mean, he doesn't live in the U.S. He lives in Russia.
Yeah, he's not gonna make it to America. I don't think he would try.
Yeah. Also, I'm not in support of drone striking him. I'm in support of arresting him and putting him on trial. and basically punishing him for material support for America's enemies. Okay, so somebody who hasn't touched a gun to fight Americans or do terrorist activities, you don't do a drone strike on them, but he did do material support for United States enemies, you should basically arrest him.
Should have been the case when he went to Venezuela, should have been the case when he went to Burkina Faso. These people are now the enemy. Okay, this left.
You're the enemy. I think Nick Fuentes is a bigger enemy of United States than Jackson Hinkle.
Because he's sneakier. It's more dangerous.
Yes, I think the enemy that says death to America is an easier enemy to deal with than an enemy that says America first. Somebody that goes against everything that America represents and says America first is a more dangerous enemy than the one who says death to America.
Wing Islam, this third world alliance, they're the enemy. I'm not okay with Zionists either. Still, it's not. I didn't change my opinion on that, by the way. We can't be in league with Randy Fine and Laura Loomer. These people are psychotic. They want us to die in the eschaton. They want the church to be destroyed so they could get their menorah from 2,000 years ago. I'm still not okay with that. But these other people, they're just the other side of the same coin. So we need something a little bit different, a little bit of a different flavor. Time for another night for Americans. 250 was a night for Americans. It was clarifying. So anyway, you see.
Anyways, yeah, so that's what his takes on Jackson Hinkle is.
He is more dangerous.
He is more dangerous, yeah. He's the enemy from within. Shauna with a super chat saying Fuentes wants to build an American Vatican. Yes, they are the same side, which is against
wait
America.
a minute. The Vatican ain't that bad. Calm down. I know you're not a Catholic, but calm down.
Oh, the Vatican is evil, in my opinion. But
I mean, I don't know are you talking about the current administration?
I'm not talking about Catholic people. I'm talking about the Vatican. Historically, has been mostly evil, in my opinion. Yeah, especially the current administration.
I know the current administration sucks. I don't know I think the last one was pretty bad too.
Yeah. Yeah, so Fuentes wants to build an American Vatican. They are the same side, which is against American freedom, which is why they are now Democrats.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean,
did you know that he switched to Democrat?
I think, yeah, but he switches so often. He might have already switched back again. Like, I don't know what's the latest update. He's like a Schrodinger's Democrat. Like, you have to look into the bugs.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think he's gonna try to represent blue dogs. You know how there used to be this thing called the Blue Dog Democrat that was about workers' rights and was about, middle America, and that kind of like went away when the when they went into the more socialist oppression scale type of Democrats. I think he wants to kind of sneakily try to represent blue dog Democrats again. I think that's the play, and I think that's why he's dangerous.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know what the play is, but what he has been saying is that he doesn't like the Democrats, but he wants to punish the Republicans. That's why he wants his followers to vote Democrat because he wants to punish the Republicans. That's what he wants. He's an accelerationist. He wants things to go to, he wants everything to collapse faster so that people could wake up.
I think it's going to evolve into blue dog.
Oh, okay. We'll see. He's so all over the place. He's not gonna. He doesn't commit. Okay, you can see he was supporting the Islamic Republic. Now he's against them, right? He was supporting Muslims. He turned against them. Whenever he works with anybody, he was pretended to be with MAGA. Now he's against them. He was with Trump. Now he's against them. So he cannot it doesn't last long. Whatever side he's on, it doesn't last long. The only thing that he supports is Nick Fuentes.
I would put him in that category. I think he is absolutely an accelerationist. But I think he's very like also Israel's. He's Nick centered and Israel centered.
Yes, actually, yeah. The consistent thing about him is anti-Jewish and pro Nick Fuentes. He also flip flop on he's on Tucker and Candace, everybody.
Okay, they
Everybody.
deserved it though. They were
Yeah.
stupid. They weren't helping like
I mean,
his Nick cause or his Israel cause because they were being too.
But so
stupid
did the
about it.
Muslims. So did the Muslims and the Islamic Republic. All of them deserved it, right? The Democrats is going to abandon. He's going to turn against them again at some point. But the only thing that doesn't change about him is anti-Jewish. That's the only thing that doesn't change. I'm pro Nick. Yes, pro Nick, exactly. Do we even address this? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He does want an America. He does want a theocracy. Like it's not even his vision for America is the most anti-American vision I've ever heard of. Right? He does want a theocracy for America, based on his vision of Christianity. Shana, thank you so much for the super chat, saying the Vatican is a theocratic state. I'm an American. I don't like it. And I think they've been evil in the past. Sorry, God bless Catholics, though. Yeah, I
get it now. I get it now.
Yes.
Like
No, I
the
agree with
Vatican was a place where it's walled. It's basically a walled country telling America to not have walls. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they have done so much evil stuff in the past. Like, not even Catholics deny the most evil. Like, if you look at the Catholic Church history, like, it's
You like the
been
indulgences and that kind of stuff?
everything, like, assassinations, torture, so much against Catholics, right? So it's crazy. And yeah, the past few popes also have been horrible as well. Also, I think the Vatican has just turned into mostly a pedophile defending organization, a child abuse defending organization, mostly. And the Jesus stuff is just the branding. That's what I think.
Okay, but the I would say that the reason why that expands is because the last pope was kind of like trying to move priests instead of like sending them to jail, and the current one is supporting Islam, which is also a pedophile cult. So you're going like hard into the pedophile range if you're supporting like Islam, jihadis, not jihadis, but I mean, if you believe that it's okay for what Muhammad did to Aisha, then yeah, you're definitely supporting that stuff way too much.
Yes. By the way, guys, today, our group call will be open. That means that anybody can join. So I'll put the link in the chat. You can see that it's happening in about 50. Well, this is wrong. It's in about 53 minutes. So come join us there. Come join in the group call. Monkey will be there. I will be there. Come talk to us. The link is in the chat. The link is in the QR code at the top left. Oh, we got a super chat. I will respond to that soon. The link is in the description. Also in the bio of Liberty Politics YouTube channel. And make sure when you are on Liberty Politics YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. If you guys watching us on X, by the way, it's also in the bio of Armin Navobi on X. So come join this group call. Click on here to join the group call, or just go find it in the calendar section, either way. And then come talk to me there. It's free for everybody to join. Other than that, so I'll respond to the super chat, but also I want to mention Monkey is almost halfway there to get to 1,000 subscribers.
Goal for today is 500.
Oh, goal for today is 500, guys. So he's like only 12 short.
Yes.
So let me put the link in the 12 more subscribers, and he's going to get to 500. So the link is in the chat. Go subscribe to Monkey's YouTube channel.
I have the watch hours, you guys in my chats. How do you? I appreciate you guys. They've been staying. Like I've had steady people that go throughout the whole stream, and apparently the watch hours are like jumping up. Like I'm getting good retention, but I need the subscribers. So more of you are here with me, and I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you, Armin. Armin has been a mentor to me and helped me a lot. So also subscribe to his channel. Make sure you leave a comment on his channel. Show him a lot of love and support like he has done for me.
Oh, look, you're only 7 short. 7 only. 7 subscribers to get
Almost
halfway.
there.
Yes, amazing.
If we get to 500, I'll start singing Bon Jovi.
Wow, look at this. We're getting there, guys. Yes, and also on Liberty Politics YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification as well. Thank you for that. And guys, don't forget to go watch this interview I did with Ask Haviv Anything. It was one of my best interviews, I think. Go watch it. We talk about Iran. We talk about the state of the uprising of the Iranian people. Will the Iranian people be successful against the Islamic Republic? Will this happen? Will they be free? We talk about Prince Reza Pahlavi a lot and his position and his current standing among the Iranian people. He asked me a lot of challenging questions, a lot of views that people have against Prince Reza Pahlavi. He asked me about that, and I responded. It wasn't like a softball or anything, and I think I did a really good job defending Prince Reza Pahlavi. So go and watch that. Again, I put the link to let me actually put the link to my interview.
Can I tell them what I enjoyed while you do the link thing? Like what I enjoyed about this interview is I feel that he answered a lot of questions that people that are not as deep in the weed as we are would have. I think he answered a lot of questions that people that are unfamiliar would ask, and that he answered them well. Like it's a good template. Like if you have to answer these kind of questions, you watch this interview, like, okay, now I have an idea of how to approach this.
Yes. Thank you for saying that, Monkey. I appreciate that. And then we got another super chat from George saying, Armin, please read up on, how do you pronounce this?
Montreal, like Montreal? Montreal?
No, that's not how you read Montreal. Okay.
Not Montreal, Montreux.
Montreal, okay. Convention, and okay, then connect the dots between Ukraine, I think you mean.
Ukraine conflict, Iran conflict, Russia, Turkey.
Russia, Turkey. You see the rational, okay, with the okay, let me see.
Look, there could be a perfectly good rationale, like while you search for it, there could be a perfectly good rationale, but the problem is with the Senate. The Senate might block it no matter what. The Senate might even block whatever the UAE is doing, like we had to deal with them. Like you have to get past the Senate. That's a big problem. That's where that problem lies. And I'm sure there's some rationale to it. Like personally, I don't like the way Turkey is close to Russia, but I wouldn't deny that there would be some rationale into while you get rid of the S-400, that system doesn't integrate, so you're integrating a different system. But I think it also has to be taken into account how long it takes for these systems to be implemented, how much support is needed to have one of these systems. Like one of the things that is normally known about American weapons is that they're the best weapons, but they're the most high maintenance. You need to have the parts, you need to have the technicians, you need to have them trained. You basically need to have an American base. If for you to have this type of equipment, you'd have to be an American base, American controlled, because there's a lot of things about the plane that we would just not hand over, a lot of tech, a lot of access that we would just not give.
Okay, so basically this is a suggestion that Turkey uses its control over the Black Sea via the Montreaux Convention to play a high-stakes balancing act between NATO and the Russia-Iran axis by choosing the Russian S-400 over the American F-35. Turkey signed strategic independence. I think, no, that's not what is happening here. Let me see.
Like they put the X as silent. Like when they say faux leather, they don't pronounce the X. That's why the only reason I kind of know how to pronounce it. Not that my French is very good. I usually say pardon my French.
Hold on, let me see if I could understand. Maybe I would read up on it, but there's I doubt it that there is any justification for giving. I think the best justification is that it's Texas troops justification, that this is not going to happen because of Congress or something like that. That would be the best justification, in my opinion, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like Congress is going to approve this. There's no way that Senate and the Congress are going to approve this.
So the Montreux and regional ban. Turkey uses the Montreux Convention to choke Russian naval power in Ukraine while utilizing the S-400 to hedge against regional threats like Iran. The F-35 payoff by providing its indispensable value to NATO on the Black Sea chessboard, Ankara has successfully pressured the U.S. into reviving the F-35 deal in 2026. Let me see. So, but how does this justify selling the F-35s to Turkey? I understand why this makes for
Isn't Ukraine right now a strong power in the Black Sea? I mean, they blew up a lot of Russian boats.
No, this still, to me, still doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm looking into it. So Washington justifies selling the F-35s to Turkey because Ankara is an irreplaceable strategic counterweight against Iran and Russia after Iran damaged allied regional radar networks earlier this year. The US and Israel became heavily reliant on Turkish radar infrastructure. For the US, upgrading Turkey's air force ensures a powerful NATO, to NATO member to project power and secure the Black Sea and the Middle East. So, however, so that's based on everything you're saying. That's the justification, right? But Israel still opposes this. Okay, Prime Minister Netanyahu has heavily lobbied against the deal, warning that giving advanced fifth-generation stealth jets to hostile Erdogan regime will destroy Israel's guaranteed regional air superiority. Israel's views Turkey's open support for Hamas and alignment with anti-Israel movements as a direct threat, meaning the F-35 sale actively erodes Israel's qualitative military age. So, George, I see your point regarding the justification for giving that to Turkey to push back, to use that area to push back against the Islamic Republic and Russia. I completely see that, but it still doesn't negate the fact that this is not good for Israel. It does not negate that.
Right, and a justification is not a guarantee. Like, no, I'm sorry, chat. I still have to change the keybind. I put 2 because I need 2 more subscribers to sing Bon Jovi, because I'd be halfway there. But if you want to hear a monkey sing, you gotta I gotta get 2 more subscribers.
Wait, where are you at now? With the subscribers, are you at?
I'm at 498.
You're 2 subscribers away from 500. 2 subscribers, guys. I'll put the link in the chat to make it to 500. Monkey, let's get to Monkey halfway to 1,000. 2 more. Come on, 2. Amazing. Monkey, you're growing faster than most channels. It takes 18 months for people on average to get to 1,000 subscribers, right? But you're
People
already
on average
there.
don't have Armin in their corner.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It helps a lot.
Guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you for making this happen. Let me see. 500. Look, it's 500. Refreshes. You're at 500. Woo!
Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you.
We might get a copyright strike because of how good that was. So.
All right. Let's calm down.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna guys, make sure you join our group call today. Today's gonna be a lot of people there because it's free. So come and talk and meet the rest of us. Let's just hang out with each other over there. And then after that we have another stream and then another stream. So make sure you subscribe to all our channels and hit the bell notification, and we'll see you there soon. So until then, I'm Zrachai, Slava Ukrainian,
Yeah.
Cuba Libre. Long live America. Javicha. Payande.
Iran.
See you guys soon.